Hello there, welcome back. It's the Random Show with your host, your friend, your buddy, Agostino Zinga, episode number 210. That's 210. That's 210 of the Random Show with your host, Agostino. How's it going? How you feeling? What's going on, people? What's the vibe? What's the dealio? Scream if you hear me. Make some noise. Ooh. You know how it is. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. And all that malarkey. Welcome back to the Random Show. Welcome back to the Blood Clot Random Show. I hope you're all doing swimmingly fine. Hope you're all doing swimmingly great and all of those things in between. How am I? I'm doing amazing. I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. I'm doing amazing. I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. I'm doing amazing. I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. I'm doing amazing. I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. I'm doing amazing. So, random things to talk about today. I'm going to watch a little bit of Jelly Roll stuff, Jelly Roll and Friday Kid, and we're going to watch some other bits in between too. So, a little quick one, not super long, but then I'm going to come back later for another long episode. Another episode to get through. Got to get my chat on the phone, and then we're going to go from there, okay? Is that okay? Cool. Blessings and fucking stupendousness to all of you out there. I do love and appreciate you all. I do love and appreciate all of you so freaking much, okay? I really bloody do. So first things first, let's get into this. I'm wondering, right? I'm wondering, how do dickheads, how do cunts, how do pricks, how do absolute knobheads become so successful despite being all those things and above? Like, what's the deal? Why don't us as human beings, why aren't we able to discern these dickheads and basically do everything in our power to make sure they're not successful? Why is it a common trait around successful people is that they're dickheads at their core? What is it about that? I want you to keep that in mind. Why? Because of this story that I'm going to be talking to you now about the trademark bully. Momofuku's David Chang. You know David Chang, the big square-headed Asian dude that cooks all the Asian food online and kind of acts like, you know, he fucking invented fucking noodles. That dude, right? So he's allegedly suing other Asian food makers, sometimes small business owners, who are using the word, I think, chili crunch to describe their chili flake concoction thing they put on their food. Imagine sending them cease and desist and shit because he's trademarked the term chili crunch, which is absolutely hilarious. But honestly, this goes to show that for some reason, dickheads like David Chang, dickheads like the fucking, what's his name? The guy that does the carpool karaoke, all these type of dudes are able to traverse and get so far up, become incredibly famous, become incredibly rich and successful, despite being quite unlikable people in real life. And I'm just really curious to find out why that's the case. Why that happens. Like, why do they seem to, like, you know, get to that kind of level? They have to pass loads of people, train a lot of people, piss off a lot of people, but they seem to keep on going. Why is that? Because usually people tell you, the common adage is that, don't be a dickhead, right? You hear that term heard a lot, especially now in the nightlife scene that I'm in. People use that phrase, don't be a dickhead, don't be a dickhead, don't be a dickhead, be a nice guy, treat people nice on your way up because you might see them on your way down, blah, blah, blah. But in actuality, do you actually have to be nice to make it? Do you actually have to be a nice person? Do you actually? Or can you just be a cunt, be really good at what you do, and people have to just put up with you? I wonder. Let's read the article. Across the US, a crunchy, crispy-like chili oil is being drizzled over dumplings, noodles, eggs, pizza, and even ice cream. Once an almost secret sauce, this deep red condiment, made of bits of dried chili, crispy fried garlic, and often with sesame seeds and Szechuan pepper, has its roots in China. Now dozens of brands produce versions of it, as this umami bomb goes mainstream. But it's not all going well in the comment aisle. Momofuku, the food empire founded by celebrity chef David Chang, is attempting to seize control of the market, or at least the name. The company has sent a cease and desist letters to companies using the term chili crunch and Chile, as in the country crunch. Look at this guy, man. David Chang is a fucking cunt, innit? Not only is he fucking trying to trademark the term chili crunch, he's also trademarking Chile, as in the country in South America, crunch. Can you believe it? On their condiment labels, and is trying to trademark chili crunch with the US Patent Trademarking Office, the USPTO. It continues. Michelle Chu, founder of Malaysian food brand Homaya, based in New York City, is one of those letters recipients. It states that Momofuku is the owner of all trademark rights for Chile Crunch and Chili Crunch, two different spellings, and that her product Homai Sambal Chili Crunch is a trademark infringement. Chu said that her chili crunch is based on her Malaysian family's recipe where she grew up. Momofuku is concerned that consumers might confuse a jar of Homaya Sambal Chili Crunch, which has colourful floral motif paper label, with a jar of Momofuku's Chili Crunch with a minimalist hand-drawn font and no paper label. Homaya has 9 days to respond. Let's actually check it. I want to see what this label looks like. So this is the one. It's called Homai. Let's see what the Homai one looks like. Because I'm actually curious to see. Maybe David Chang has a point. Maybe their labels are so similar that it's going to be hard to check. Let's see, and let's check the Momofuku one. Let's see what they look like. That label-wise, let's see what they look like. Let's go to images, and let's see the label. So this is what the Momofuku bottle looks like, right? It's that on Amazon. It's a clear jar with a white top, very minimal. You know, some nice fucking, you know, Comic Sans illustrating fucking text on the outside. Here's David Chang's big square fat head. And then, of course, here's a Hambao, Homai Sambal Chili brand. And it's completely different. It's completely different. But to be honest anyway, I'm assuming all chili brands are going to have a similar aesthetic when it comes to their jars and design. It's like honey. Most honey brands have a similar type of design, right? They're going to have like, you know, some sort of honeycomb style illustration. They're going to have some iteration or variation of yellow or of like a burnt orange or a sun or yellow. You know what I mean? That's what it's going to be. So what can you actually trademark here? It's all going to be the same, but they look very different. If you're used to buying a Momofuku jar, the first thing you're going to keep an eye on is a white lid. The white lid is a good little branding decision, I'm assuming, right? So they branded the jar really well. It's clear as well, so you can see all the different layers. That's really cool. And then you're going to mix it all in. That's quite nice how they've done it. And I like the little lemon on the outside. Maybe it's a bit zesting, I'm not really too sure. But I like the bottle design. I actually prefer the jar design of Momofuku over this lady, the Homai Sambal Chili Crunch. I actually prefer their bottle design a lot more, their jar. But still, you're not going to confuse them. So the fact that David Chang is suing these people and telling them to like change the name of their fucking chili crunch because it's too similar to his chili crunch is fucking crazy. And just the term as well, chili crunch. It's so generic and nondescript. It doesn't relate anything. It'll be different if it was like Momo Chili Crunch or something, and they named it Hanbao Chili. I mean, that would be something similar. But there's nothing to discern chili crunch from any other. You know, it's just a couple of words. It's like trying to fucking trademark, I don't know, avocado and toast or something. Or, you know, what's that thing called? A BLT. Can you really fucking trademark BLT when that's the term to describe the ingredients inside of a fucking sandwich? It doesn't make any sense. Continues. Each brand has its own recipe of the chili condiment, often calling it chili oil, chili crisp, chili crunch, chili sauce, or a combination thereof. Product labels reflect the shared vernacular. But Momofuku is specifically targeting those using the terms chile crunch or chili crunch. Two of the biggest brands, Flyby Jing Szechuan Chili Crisp, launched by entrepreneur and chef Jing Zhao in 2018, and China's condiment queen Lao Gan Ma Spicy Chili Crisp, are not Momofuku's crosshairs because they use the term chili crisp, not chili crunch. But those who have crunch over crisp or oil for their product are incensed. Come on, bro. So it's okay to call your thing chili crisp, but not chili crunch. Come on. If anything, I will be more confused by chili crisp and chili crunch than I'll be confused by these jar designs. So again, I ask you specifically, what is it about people who are absolute cunts, one of them being David Chang, who are absolute pieces of shit to their own community, right? He's an Asian man himself. He's trying to put down small Asian businesses. He's kicking their back in. He's got a big brand, Momofuku. He's backed by all these big, investment banker guy. He sees himself as a famous person. He loves the fucking limelight. He wants to be big and famous and well known, all this sort of malarkey. He's got all the resources. So he's squashing all of these fucking small Asian retailers and entrepreneurs who are trying to make a name for themselves, who are trying to spread the beauty of fucking chili crunch and chili oil wherever they're fucking from, right? They're trying to maybe tell a story about their family. They may be trying to leave something for their generations to come. They're trying to rewrite the history of their family. Whatever they're trying to do. He's stomping over it. But he's incredibly popular. Netflix shows, meeting the president, fucking rich and famous friends. Why is it? When at the core, he seems like a cunt. How is he able to do that? Is it that common adage that we get told, oh, be nice to people that you meet on your way up? Is that all a lie? Or is this guy actually not a cunt? Because this seems like really cunty behavior. I'm not gonna lie. We continue. As the word spread of Momofuku's cease and desist letters among entrepreneurs making the chili condiment, reactions ranged from fear, annoyance, to disappointment and astonishment at the goal. The company did not return requests for comment. Two described receiving letters as a punch in the gut. Momofuku's Chang, who is of Korean descent, has helped to push Asian food forward in the mainstream. She said, honestly, and also this term, Korean, this word descent is an odd word, isn't it? Because where else is he meant to be from, though? It's almost when they say descent as if like you were confused. Hey, by the way, guess what? David Chang is Korean. Really? No way. Guess what? You know what I heard? What Agostino is actually of African descent. He's of African descent. I thought he was like Irish. Like, what is that word? Like, why do people say that? Of course he's fucking Korean. Like, what? Anyway, continue. Has helped to push Asian food forward into the mainstream. She said, if Kraft Heinz hit me up with a cease and desist, it would have been so distressing. But the fact that it was Momofuku makes me really sad. Exactly. If Heinz, the Heinz company did it, fair enough, right? They're a big multi-conglomerate corporation. They've probably funded loads of civil wars. They probably have their fingers in loads of fucking really horrible things going around the world. They're probably at the seat of power in some of the most, war-torn countries around the world and shit. Fair enough. But Momofuku's almost like it's part of the community, right? Started off as a small thing, restaurant, blah, 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 food trucks, little stores, YouTube, blah, magazine, you know what I mean? It's all the same journey. Basically, they all look up to David Chang, I'd imagine. A lot of those people probably look up to David Chang, especially if they're from Asian descent, right? They see him as, oh my God, if that big, square-headed, ugly motherfucker can make it, so can I. Do you know what I mean? They probably look at him. And now look at, he's fucking smiling, looking like a happy Buddha, but deep down, he's a fucking greedy Scrooge McDuck. Absolutely crazy. Seattle-based Mila specializes in soup dumplings and also received a Momofuku cease and desist letter. Caleb Wang, who grew up between Chicago and Shanghai, recently revamped Mila line of sauce with his co-owner and wife, Jen Liao. Since they added a larger portion of crispy, crunchy fried garlic. Honestly, when David Chang finds out somebody's adding garlic or fucking crispy somethings or, crispy fucking onions or whatever, or sesame seeds in their fucking chili, he is there. He's there knocking on the door. Hello? Hello? Is that chili? Is that some crunch in your fucking chili? Do you know what I mean? He's there, bro. He's sniffing it out. If you add anything in there that's inkling like what he does, he's fucking on your fucking back. What a piece of shit. Since they added a larger portion of crispy, crunchy fried garlic to their previous recipe, giving it an extra crunch, they named it the Mila Chili Crunch. It's packaged in a futuristic bottle styled on the curvy Calabasas gourd, sometimes called hulu. Our intent was to describe the product. Noting that Chili Crunch gives a customer a better understanding of the new condiment than Chili Crisp. Exactly. Let's see that bottle now. Let's see Milai Chili Crunch. And let's see how similar that is to the Momofuku Chili Crunch. Because this motherfucker David Chang is being a piece of shit, bro. He's really a Scrooge McDuck. He wants all the monies. Look at that bottle. Does that look anything similar to this? It doesn't even look anything similar. Come on, David Chang. Give your head a wobble. Give your head a wobble. You square-headed, oblong, fucking ugly piece of shit. Look at that bottle. It's nothing similar to yours. Momofuku's extra spicy chili crunch is nothing similar to fucking Mila Chili Crunch. It doesn't look similar at all. God damn it, this guy's a cunt. It's packaged in futuristic bottle. Momofuku currently does not have the registered trademark for Chili Crunch, but began filing the process on 29th of March, which can take often a year. To receive approval, it will have to prove that Chili Crunch is not merely a description of the product inside the jar, but rather that Chili Crunch has a distinctive, extensive use in commerce over many years. How can you prove that? I wonder how they will be able to prove that. How can you prove that Chili Crunch isn't a descriptive word and is more so something that is related to your brand only? When people think of Chili Crunch, think of Momofuku. which is fucking wild because you have to be really in the weeds to think of that. Yes, there are a lot of foodies out there, a lot of restaurant heads, you know, which is bizarre to be a grown person and be fucking creaming it over going to a restaurant. But hey, it is what it is. But like, come on, most people just, you know, they eat what they eat. When they go to a restaurant, they like something, they'll see it, take a picture of it, and go buy it somewhere else. They don't really think of, oh, this restaurant introduced it, this guy did it, this. Like, they don't give a fuck. Anyway, Momofuku does own the trademark rights of Chili Crunch. Chile Crunch registered in USPT, of course, because that's stupid. Who's gonna name their bottle Chile Crunch after the fucking country? It doesn't make any sense. You're gonna want to call it Chili Crunch. Chile Colonial had taken action against Momofuku for trademark infringements, unfair competition, according to the documents. Typically called the Salsa Mache. Chile is Spanish. Oh, so Chile is Chile in Spanish. Okay, I didn't know that. So the country Chile is spicy. Like the literal English translation for Chile, the country in South America, is spicy. That's fucking hilarious. Momofuku licenses the trademark to a third party according to a cease and desist letter. Momofuku's cease and desist letter states that Momofuku's been offering its Chili Crunch product since 2018. So what, bro? You're acting as if this condiment of fucking chili flakes and crispy shits has only been around since 2018. They didn't invent that. I'm sorry. It's like saying you invented sriracha mayo. I wonder who did invent that anyway. Who invented sriracha mayo? Who one day, what fat fuck, what big back fat fuck was sitting there one day thinking to themselves, I got it! And they fucking squeeze a bit of sriracha and a little bit of fucking mayo in a bowl and then fucking whisk it together and make sriracha mayo. I wonder who did it first, man. It continues. The phrase I would like you to refer to the Momofuku case in this is trademark bully, says Stephen Coates. Exactly. Representing Homai. They are a trademark bully. This is a clear case of them picking on small businesses with a letter campaign hoping they'll cave because of the financial pressure. If small businesses capitulate and omit Chili Crunch from their labels, Momofuku's product will appear more distinct as it appeals to the registered Chili Crunch trademark. Exactly. Now, David Chang's a piece of shit. Again, I don't know why pieces of shit always seem to make it in life. We seem to live in a world that rewards pieces of shit with riches and glory. I don't know why that's the case, but it seems to be the case. Anyway, there is a small update. Momofuku have responded. Momofuku responds to Chili Crunch backlash. We wanted a name we could own. Meh. I'm of Korean descent. I don't have anything. I'm wiping my eyes with all these $100 bills from my Momofuku empire and my various other ventures and my new startup I just launched. Fuck off. Let's read the article. It says here, imagine walking into a grocery store and seeing a single brand of each item. Identical squeezed bottles of ketchup, one company's mustard, one brand salsa, just one maker's hot sauce. What a bland world it will be. If Momofuku has its way, the only Chili Crunch on store shelves will bear the name Momofuku. Momofuku, founded by David Chang, acquired the rights of Chile Crunch, spelled with an E, last year from Chile Colonial LLC. It's funny that David Chang got the rights of the name Chile Crunch from a company that's got Colonial in its name. And he's now doing the same thing to other companies that have the term Chili Crunch in their name. Huh. Who would have funked it? It continues. Then on March 29th, Momofuku filed a trademark application for the term Chili Crunch, spelled with an I. The stated sending cease and desist orders to multiple businesses selling the Chili Crunch products. Social media backlash immediately followed. Actor Simu Liu, who serves as the chief content officer at Milai, a food beverage company that does dozens of dumplings and Chili Crunch, challenged Momofuku to a blind test taste on Twitter last week. He says the winner keeps it the name. The loser backs off. Bloody hell, the food industry is fucking lame, innit? Somebody that works at that company said, hey, I challenge you to a blind taste test for the rights of the name. How dorky and lame can you get? The food industry is full of some fucking weebs. In a statement to the Times, a spokesperson for Momofuku said that the company has seen multiple Chili Crunch products rebranded as Chili Crunch over the last year, and the trademark was never intended to stifle innovation on the category that we care deeply about. You're stifling innovation because you're telling other people they can't name their products that have Chili Crunch in it. Chili Crunch. That's stifling fucking innovation, motherfucker. And honestly, please, let's not describe putting fucking random condiments in a jar as innovation. Please not do that. Because what? Are we saying the fucking Apple Vision Pro and Chili Crunch on the same fucking spectrum of innovation? Are we being for real? Innovation. Putting some flakes in a jar. Fuck off. Do yourself a favor. Give your head a fucking wobble. Let's continue. When we created our products, we wanted a name that we could own. Intentionally picked Chili Crunch to further differentiate from the broader Chili Crisp category. A spokesperson said on email, not even David Chang. You see, David Chang's a fucking trademark bully. That's why you can never trust a man whose head is shaped like that. Never trust a man who has a head like this. Never trust a man who looks like, he had one of those. He's got the type of head of a person who maybe was involved in some sort of high-speed crash, but now they've recovered. It was like all kind of discombobulated, and now they've kind of got better. That's kind of how it looks. Like one eye is droopy, he's got lumps and bumps everywhere. Like there's no discerning place where you can see his neck and difference of his chin. It's all kind of just all over the place. Never trust a guy like that, because look at that. He's hiding behind his spokesperson in an email. We worked with a family-owned company called Chile Colonial. Chile Colonial is a family-owned company. Family-owned slave fields, right? Family-owned slaves. I love that. I love that term. We're a small brick and mortar family-owned slave company. All of our slaves are fucking homebred. Homegrown slaves. No artificial products. No processed food. They're only on keto. They do intermittent fasting. They don't drink soft drinks. They don't smoke. Prime quality. I mean, you do a little check on the teeth. Make sure they're all good. Fucking hell. One voice is critical of Momofuku threatening legal action was Fly by Jing, entrepreneur called Jing Zhao. She started bottling Szechuan Chili Crisp in 2018 and is often credited as the catalyst for the mainstream of Chili Crisp. So it's not even him. Momofuku didn't even popularize Chili Crisp. It's this lady, right? This woman, called Jing Zhao. She's the person who introduced Chili Crisp to the fucking zeitgeist. Alright, cool. Let's continue. She's also the investor and advisor in Homai, one of the brands that received cease and desist letter. Gao's own company and multiple outlets filed a trademark for Szechuan Chili Crisp 2019, only to the application dismissed in 2020. Oh, maybe David Chang is getting some of his political fucking, friends to do their bidding and pull some strings and get those fucking trademarks cancelled. That's probably the benefit of having famous friends, isn't it? And friends and connections. You might be able to reach out to somebody in the trademark office and say, hey, anything that comes through your desk that says Chili Crisp, deal with it. Allegedly give them a little envelope, a pat on the back, and keep it moving. The Chile Crunch trademark should also not be granted, wrote Gao on a Substack newsletter titled "On Trademark Bullies." It is a descriptive term for the cultural product, one that can exist in Chinese cuisines for hundreds of years. And obviously, here's that jar from them. What the newsletter and other stories did not mention, however, is that last week on April 3rd, Fly by Jing filed again for trademark of Szechuan Chili Crisp, according to the US Patent Office. Then on Monday, Gao said in a statement at Times that she requested to withdraw the application. So everybody's doing the same thing. So he's trying to trademark fucking Chili Crisp, and she's now trying to trademark Szechuan Chili Crisp. Everyone's a fucking piece of shit in this food industry, alright? Like, everybody's crabs in the barrel, fucking, I guess because they see some money in it. Because once they trademark it, I guess you can then license the use of the name or something. I don't know. Either way, it's just fucking lame and GAY. Let's continue. Gao said, Fly by Jing reapplied for the Szechuan Chili Crisp as well as the Chengdu Crunch to safeguard against the potential that we need to defend ourselves against a larger power that may be threatened by our existence. In light of the events of the last 2 days, however, we now believe that there may be enough awareness raised by the descriptive nature of the term that the USPTO will reconsider the Chile Crunch trademarks, and we felt comfortable to refiling the request. Even if we are granted the trademark of Szechuan Chili Crisp, we have now abandoned Fly by Jing and would not want to use it to intimidate small businesses. Yet if David Tran, founder of Hui Fong Foods, Sriracha sauce, never sought to exclusively own the term Sriracha. Instead, he trademarked his signature rooster logo and bottle. Wow, look at that guy. So the founder of fucking Sriracha didn't even trademark Sriracha. He just trademarked the fucking bird. And, oh, that's fucking amazing. What a great guy. I reject the notion that someone will exclusively own something so ingrained in my culture, a food I consider to be intrinsic part of my identity. These trademarks will limit who can profit off the food. Exactly. You actually, by doing this, you are actively hurting people from your own community. People are trying to uplift themselves. They're trying to, it's probably entrepreneurial, or being an entrepreneur and creating a small business is probably one of the only ways outside of probably getting on a property ladder where minorities can go from like working class to middle class, upper middle class. Remember, you can actually traverse the class ladder. only by having your own business or by, being able to get on a property ladder. And two of those things are not easy. So if you do it, it's horrible then to get into it, have a small business, traverse up the fucking socioeconomic ladder, and then have somebody that looks like you, who's from the same place you're from, put you fucking down because they trademark fucking chili crisp. Motherfuckers. It continues. I like many Chinese, it would be like someone trying to trademark salsa matcha or salsa verde. Wait, inexplicably, somebody did trademark salsa verde, signaling a serious problem with the USPTO lacking knowledge to accurately, fairly determine what's descriptive. Yeah, it's like that person, who's that guy? I think it was a rapper who tried to trademark No Diddy. Absolutely cringe. I, like many Chinese Americans, feel a sense of pride and ownership of the condiment typically made of garlic, other alliums, chilies, and oils. Whether you call it crisp, oil, crunch, or sauce, it's a condiment that's integral to cuisine, culture, and experiences of Asian Americans. Michelle Chiu, founder and CEO of Homai Foods, called receiving her cease and desist letter a punch in the gut. And then we end it. What's the end? Because I'm bored of this already. Okay, pizza company. Where's the end now? Nearly a decade ago, I bought a Chili Crunch belongs to everybody. Cool. So, David Jones, piece of shit. Big up, everybody.
Bergentown filed 2 terms to trademark Recovery Club and Earn Your Mondays. They have no shame.
Oh, really? 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 I didn't know that. I had no idea. That's fucking incredible. That's so dumb. Recovery Club and Earn Your Mondays. Go fuck yourself, man. Most people are fucking trying to earn their right to just stay alive. Earn Your Mondays, Absolutely, whatever. Big up Theodore. Appreciate you, Theodore. Big up fucking Theodore. Anyways, that's enough of it. We move on. Enough about Momofuku. Moving on. Have you guys seen this video? This is fucking heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Big up the person on the Fire and the Kids subreddit for uploading this. This video really is incredibly heartbreaking. So much so that it made me fucking CRY. This is the Shaw Brogan comedy conflict. Let's fucking go.
Texas. I've always loved coming here. It's like when I was like getting.
Hey yo, pause, Joe. I've always loved coming here. Hey yo, Joe. Pause.
Ready to go do a gig in Texas, and I'm like, oh, that's fun. We're going to Texas. Fun. It's a fun place. Why do you do that?
Exactly. Why did you do that? That is so corny. And you know what I think happened, actually? Maybe he got that Texas tattoo before Rogan moved there because he heard Rogan's moving there. Or it was because of this redacted reason he's going to give. He's going to give a redacted reason why he got the tattoo. But I'm assuming, because I've always had a theory that Brendan named his kid Boston because Joe Rogan's from there. And Bill Burr, and it's like because there was a period of time when Rogan wouldn't stop talking about Boston and how hard it is growing up there and the rough and tumble of the Comedy Store and everybody taking the piss out of you and Patrice O'Neal, right? You always talk about the fucking Boston comedy scene because it was, I guess, a very pivotal moment in his comedy career. And I think Brendan, being the sucker, named his kid after that. Big up.
Video audio is dead, M8.
Video audio is not dead, it's king. It's king, okay? Fucking king. Big up Theodore, appreciate you. Let's go.
Why do you have a jacket? I mean, what happened?
Oh, I thought you were making fun of me. No, but like
I thought
Texas
it was like a
tattoo,
reason.
it's
Hold on. I'm still confused by that. He says I've got a goddamn Texas tattoo. Joe says why, and then he automatically gets defensive. So he knows it's ridiculous. He already knows it's ridiculous. Because Joe saying why is a perfectly reasonable answer. Why do you have a Texas tattoo when you have no connection to Texas that we know of? Like, why do you have one? You don't have a Denver tattoo. I don't think so. Does he have a Denver tattoo? Maybe is it the Red Sox? Are the Red Sox in Denver? I don't know. Does he have any tattoo that says from Denver? I don't really know. But it's a fair enough question to ask. Let's go back one more time. I want to see what Joe says. He said why. He said why, right?
Of coming here, it's like when I
Pause.
was like getting ready to go do a gig in Texas, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna have some fun. We're going to Texas. It's fun.
I have a Texas
fun
tattoo
place.
for God's sake. I don't know, dude.
You see how he immediately got defensive? He immediately got defensive. I don't know, dude. He immediately got defensive. He knew what the question was, but he got defensive straight away because he didn't want to explain himself because the reason's redacted. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think getting a steak tattooed on yourself is that lame or that cringe. I think the worst crime is when people get their own names tattooed on them. That's, I think, unforgivable. Getting your own name tattooed on your body is fucking insane. I remember the first time I was like blown away by it was Skepta. Skepta's got a big Skepta fucking tattoo on his back, on his shoulders. And it's like, what the fuck is that about? Like, what, are you afraid you might forget who you are? Why do you have Skepta tattooed on your back? Like, it seems not, it's fucking insane. Or maybe you want people to see you from afar, but then you're kind of dark skinned, whatever. It's fucking insane to get your own name tattooed on yourself. So the state thing, not too bad. It's sort of similar to people getting, their born day or, whatever. Like, I'm not really too, or maybe if they went somewhere, or maybe if they proposed to a partner in Paris, they get the fucking Eiffel Tower tattooed on their arm, whatever. It's a bit corny, but it's cool. But getting your own name tattooed on yourself, your own name. Come on, bro.
We can't hear the audio of the video you are playing.
Oh, you can't hear the audio? Oh, whoopsie! 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 Whoopsie!
No, but what happened?
Sorry about that, brothers. Sorry. One more time. Apologies. Thank you so much to whoever told me that. I apologize. Thank you so much. Let me double check who it was. Ba. Come on, load please if you don't mind. Apologies for that. Oh, big up Theodore. Apologies, I didn't know you couldn't hear the audio. Thank you for letting me know. Let's go again, one more time.
I've always loved it. I've always loved coming here. It's like when I was like
Pause.
getting ready to go do a gig in Texas, I was like, oh, we're gonna have some fun. We're going to Texas. It's
the
like
best.
It's fun.
I have a
It's
Texas
fun
tattoo,
place.
for God's sakes.
Why do you do that?
I don't know.
Okay, now I get why Brendan was so defensive. Because Joe kind of lowered his tone, like, why did you do that? Like, it's almost kind of mocky. So he sensed immediately that Joe was judging him. And then Joe being a pussy, he didn't stand up. He's like, no, I'm just asking you a question. No, you were judging. Be honest. So I give Brendan the reason here. Joe was being a bit of a cunt. He said, I got a Texas tattoo. And he said, why'd you do that? It's kind of sassy. It's unnecessarily sassy.
I've always loved it. I've always loved coming here. It's like when I was like getting ready to go do a gig in Texas, I was like, oh, we're gonna have some fun. We're going to Texas. It's like
the best.
It's fun.
I have a
It's
Texas
fun
tattoo,
place.
for God's sakes.
Why do you do that?
I don't know, dude. Why do you have
You
a
don't know?
dragon?
No, but what happened?
Oh, I thought you were making fun of me.
No,
but like,
I thought-
What? My microphone isn't on. Really? My mic isn't on. Are you guys being for real? Is my mic not on? My mic is on. I can hear it now. My mic is on. My mic is my mic not on? Or can you not hear me? Mic check 1 2. My mic is on. Can you not hear me? Let me know in the stream chat if you can hear me or not. My mic is on. I can see the levels right now. It's all nice and orange, heading into some red. Can you not hear me on the mic? Let me know. The mic is on. Cool. It sounds weird. People are saying it sounds weird. Okay, cool. It sounds weird. Oh, there's echo. There's echo on my mic. There's echo on my mic. Really? There's echo on it? There's some reverb. Okay, why is there reverb then? Is it not meant to be, or is it? Maybe it's this one. Maybe it's this. Let's do this.
I thought there was like a
tattoo.
reason.
It's the only state when I started stand up I've never
Okay, bear with me a second as I sort this out.
not sold out Texas.
There's some reverb. What is reverb? It's probably the wire. Okie dokie. Okay, bear with me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. If it's, I don't want reverb. I want good verb. Okay. We don't want reverb. We want good verb. No reverb. Only good verb. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's do something. Let's do this. Let's take out that. Okay, let's do something. Bear with me 1 second though. as I fucking get this shit sorted, because this is doing my fucking nutting, okay? It's doing my fucking nutting. Always something. It's never easy. Always fucking hard when it comes with me, innit? I'm always fucking coming hard. It's never fucking easy. Can never be done normally. Always has to be an issue whenever I'm fucking streaming. It's getting on my fucking nerves. And I want to fucking punch a wall or kick this fucking cat or kick a kid. You know, do something, because bloody hell. Always an issue. Always a motherfucking issue. I've had it up to me here. I've had it up to fucking here with these fucking issues, alright? Last thing I need are more issues making my life a fucking nightmare. I fucking hate it, alright? I fucking hate it. Wish it wasn't the case, but it is. What can you do? It's a fucking liability, isn't it? It's a fucking liability. Boom. Okay. Let's do this. This works. Alright. Okay. 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 Is that okay now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Is that alright? Can you hear me, you motherfuckers? You slags, can you hear me now? Is that good? Can you fucking hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Or is that too low? Come on, man! Come on! It's even... Are you for real? It's even worse. What? Oh, okay, you guys are trolling now. I think you guys are fucking trolling. Are you guys trolling? Huh. Alright, I'm gonna...
Why'd you do that?
Every single shot I do, I sell out in Texas. I love Texas.
That's why you got that tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Houston's good, man.
Houston's
Yeah.
great.
San Antonio's dope.
Yeah.
I would move to, obviously, I'd love to be here, but I'd move to Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort
Like,
Worth
real
is great.
Texas.
That's real Texas. Fort Worth is great. Yeah.
Get some
Did the
land.
arena there last
Is
year.
that good?
Yeah,
Can
Fort
you
Worth is-
fucking hear me? You guys are fucking... Huh?
I love Texas. That's why you got that.
Damn! Okay, cool. How's it sound now? How's it sound now? How's it sound now? How's it sound now? Okay, let me just get my... let me just monitor myself. Why am I keep asking you motherfuckers? You guys are not reliable fucking judges. You guys are not reliable people, alright? So I'm just gonna do it myself. I'm gonna fucking do it myself. Audio properties I can monitor, can't I? Where's the monitor? There you go, Scarlet. Let me monitor myself. Hello? 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 There we go, it's fucking fine now. No reverb. Motherfuckers. We got it sorted in the end, didn't we, eh? We got it fucking sorted. Everyone in the stream chat. Agostino! It's reverb! There's reverb! Okay, there's no reverb anymore, alright? No reverb, okay? Is that good now? Is that good? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me good? Can you hear me good now? Okay, cool. Let's fucking go. Once again, let's go. Once again, let's fucking go. Okay? No delays now. No fucking stalling. Let's fucking go. Alright? Coiler, this is like when you tell your parents dinner is bad and you really regret it. Yeah, they're like, Tell us, be honest. Give us your opinion. You tell it and you're like, fuck! I knew I shouldn't have trusted them. Now I'm getting a fucking 2-hour lecture about the importance of family. You're like, damn it! Anyway, let's continue. Big up Colin. Big up the stream chat. I appreciate you. Let's go! Let's fucking go! Okay, cool. Let's go back to the beginning again. One more fucking time. Alright, cool. So, Shulp, Rogan, comedy conflict video, courtesy of the fucking Fighting the Kids subreddit and other places too. I think it's fucking phenomenal because there's an interesting part in the beginning where Joe kind of mocks Brendan about his Texas tattoo and other bits and pieces. Let's watch it together.
Texas. I've always loved it. I've always loved coming here. It was like when I
Pause.
was like getting ready to go do a gig in Texas, I was like, oh, we're gonna have some fun. We're going to Texas. It's like
the best.
it's fun.
I have a
It's
Texas
fun
tattoo,
place.
for God's sakes.
Why do you do that?
I don't know, dude.
He's so mean. Why did you do that? Look how immediately fucking Brendan climbed up. I get why he was pissed. He automatically tenses up. He's angry. Look, he actually could beat up Joe. And listen, I would love to see Joe Rogan and Brendan get into a scrap. I would love to see Joe Rogan and Brendan get into a scrap. Can you imagine it? Can you imagine what it'd be like if they got into a scrap? Can you imagine what it'd be like if they got into a scrap? Please. 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 Could you imagine? Could you imagine what it'd be like if they got into a scrap? Yeah, I could.
Why do
What?
you have
You
a
don't know?
dragon?
No, but what happened?
Oh, I thought you were making fun of me.
No,
but
no.
like
I
a
thought there
Texas
was like a
tattoo.
reason.
It's the only state when I started stand up I've never not sold out Texas.
And he says this, right, as like a sense of achievement, like that's badass. But Joe doesn't give him the reaction he wants. He always looks to. That's the thing. If you watch early episodes of Rogan when Brendan was on, he'd always look at Joe for approval, and Joe would give it to him. Like he'd laugh at his jokes. Like Joe really used to love Brendan. That's a really sad thing about how it all kind of dissolved. Brendan saying that bold guy slang dick thing and falling out with loads of comedians. Basically, I think put a wedge in their relationship or changed it somewhat, and it's not the same. So now whenever they're together, Rogan doesn't laugh as much at Brendan's jokes. Like they're clearly not as close as they once were. I remember one time Brendan had to basically tell Joe that he had kids. I don't even think Joe remembered that Brendan even had kids and shit. It's like ish. They don't talk at all as much as they used to. So in this case, Brendan's trying to appeal to Joe Rogan, saying, because Rogan loves all those like, yeah, I'm a man type of things, right? Like achievements. I buy myself expensive things so I can work harder, hustle hard. So he's got this whole like, oh yeah, I sell out fucking shows in Texas, tattoo, and Rogan just looks at him like, oh, he doesn't really give him the acknowledgement he wants. Do you know what I mean? That's where you can see the fucking difference in what their thing is. Oh, by the way, so this whole fucking sounded like I'm in an aquarium. This whole sounded like I'm underwater. This whole I'm signed to fucking OVO and I think I'm fucking Party Next Door vocator voice thing I had going on. Was I doing it the entire time I was talking about chili flakes? My whole rant about David Chang, I was fucking sounding like I was recording, in a fucking mine somewhere in the middle of Congo. Fuck! That's why I wish I could put the chat somewhere in the screen to see it properly because, yeah, anyway, I fucked up. Doesn't matter. Let's continue.
Every single show I do, I sell out in Texas. I love Texas.
That's why you got that tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Houston's good, man.
Houston's
Yeah.
great.
San Antonio's dope.
Yeah.
I would move to, obviously, I'd love to be here, but I'd move to Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth
real
is great.
Texas.
And I love how he's saying this as well, by the way. He's saying this as like a sign, like an indicator that he's looked into Texas. Oh, by the way, yeah, I'd move to Texas, but I wouldn't move to Austin with you guys. I'd go to Fort Worth. It's showing like he's taking interest, like he's researching it. He wants Brett Rogan to go, yeah, you want the Red NC? You want me to buy your house? Right? That's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for the Red NC, and he's waiting for the fucking housing buying. That's what he wants. Even though Rogan gave him an entire career that he's still fucking living off now, he still wants more. Give me a set of the mothership. Give me a fucking house. Give me a Red NC. Give me more Rogan. Give me fucking more. Papa is hungry.
That's real Texas. Fort Worth is great. Yeah.
Get some
We did
land.
the arena there last year.
Yeah, Fort Worth is right outside
The new
Austin.
arena.
It has been a
Hey yo, Josh CFC. Everything okay down at the bottom of the well, AZ. I'm not gonna lie, when it comes from you, that kind of sounds a bit racist. It kind of sounds a little bit go back to your country. It kind of sounds you guys only belong at the bottom of some kind of well. It kind of sounds like I'm going to give you some fucking, some bread and some water every fucking 12 hours or so at the bottom of the water. We got to keep on digging. It kind of sounds wild and it's coming from you. I can say that, but when you say it, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, big up, big up Josh CFC. Big up everyone in the stream chat. Like the stream if you're liking it. Like the fucking stream.
Problem though, because there's a lot of people want to come.
Pause. Yo, Joe likes to come in it. I always like to come here. A lot of people like to come. Do you want to come? Joe, can you come? Oh, can you guys imagine? Picture for 1 second, everyone, wherever you are. If you're sitting in the office at a desk, if you're currently wiping your kid's ass, if you're currently on the shitter, if you're currently stacking shelves, whatever you're fucking doing, close your eyes. Now picture Joe's cum face. Picture Joe's cum face. Can you imagine what Joe's cum face is like? Can you imagine what Joe looks like when he's fucking ejaculating? Can you imagine? Oh, you see when he gets into the cold plunge? That's probably how he does. You know what I mean? I can imagine that, bro. Oi!
Some of them are just,
Joe cum, if you taste it, it tastes a little bit like On It. Joe cum smells like AG1. Joe cum smells like AG1, bro.
People are weird, like that want a headline and that they know. Like, that you're not really a headliner. Like, what are you talking about?
And me and Rogan.
You see, I don't like that. Look at the Brendan putting his hand on his chest to look like he's being emotional and he's being sensitive. I don't like that from Rogan. I don't like this whole you're not open a thing. Because motherfucker, you platformed Brendan Schaub. You gave Brendan Schaub a career. Rogan was the one that was booking Brendan to perform with him at the Comedy Store. The illustrious Comedy Store. The Berghainer fucking comedy. Oh my god, Mitzi Shaw. Wank, wank, finger, finger, finger. Right, do you know what I mean? They fucking loved that fucking place. They used to talk about it like it was a fucking mecca before Rogan opened his club and all of a sudden, now the Comedy Store doesn't exist. When's the last time you heard these guys talk about the Comedy Store? It doesn't fucking happen. It's a fucking distant memory now. It doesn't matter. No one cares if someone gets past there. No one's talking about somebody killing or being a murderer or being a beast. It's all fucking gone. But him specifically, was the one that platformed Brendan and put him on those shows when he wasn't fucking ready. Rogan did more damage to Brendan's possibility of being a stand-up comedian than Brendan probably could have ever done himself. The fact that Rogan gave him an opportunity to become a stand-up comedian and then gave him the biggest stages, the most illustrious stages, the most fucking hallowed stages, and then he couldn't meet the standard, is now biting him in the ass because he can't now go back to doing smaller, crappier things because he's so used to performing at the top level. So it's a bit rich for Joe to say, okay, I could book you at the Comedy Store when you first start, couple of years in, but now you're like, because I think Brendan's probably nearly 10 years into stand-up comedy. He must be nearly 10 years into it, maybe 8 or 9. So Brendan's now 9 or 10 years into comedy, and now all of a sudden Brendan's not good enough to perform at the Mothership. Make that make sense. How is he good enough to perform with you at the Laugh Factory, at the Ice House, at the Comedy Store, 1 to 3 years in, but now because you guys are not friends anymore and you moved away, all of a sudden, Rogan's got standards, you can't perform in my club anymore. That is bullshit. And I don't really fucking like Brendan. I think his comedy is fucking terrible, but that is some bullshit shit. I would be pissed. I'd be angry. I'd be furious if I was fucking Brendan. And Rogan said, oh, you can't perform my club. You're not good enough. Motherfucker, I wasn't good enough 1 or 2 when I first started. And you put me on your fucking Joe Rogan and Friends lineup at the Comedy Store. Why am I not good enough now? Come on, bro. Come on.
It has been a problem, though, because there's, a lot of people want to come. And some of them are...
Pause. Yo, big up, Spim Pulse 81. AZ, you're looking healthier, better, lately, man. You didn't look bad before, but you're def glowing up, bro. Maybe it's a new haircut. Big ups on the barber. Bean cheese. Yeah, appreciate it. You guys know why I'm looking like this. You guys know why. It's pretty obvious. Whenever I'm not here and I've got loan gaps and I'm not streaming around and you guys are wondering, where's Aggie? Where's he not streaming? Where is he? Where's AZ? You know where I'm at. Bitch, you guessed it. Ugh. My head fucking, covered in fucking some sort of random white substance that is almost dusty, flaky, powdery looking. Could be Ket, could be other things, okay? That's the reason why I take so many breaks. But lately, I've been off that. I've been on my healthy tip. I've been going to the gym. I've been working out. I've been drinking loads of water. I've been fucking doing all my nice facials and shit, covering myself with fucking my face with oils. So it's always obvious. It's always obvious. But the only thing I've got to do now is get the fucking waist tighter. The face is looking way more healthier. I don't look like I've stayed up for 17 hours and fucking 17 days. But I now got to get the waist like that. Once I get a fucking waist, once I can hold my waist with two hands, then I'll be happy. All right? Once I can do that at my waist, then I'll be fucking happy. But yeah, let's continue.
Or just, people are weird, like that want a headline and that they know, like that you're not really.
Hey, Assad, get fucked, motherfucker. Get fucked. Assad, fuck you, man.
A headliner? Like, what are you talking about?
And me and Rogan had this conversation. I'm not there yet. I was talking to Rogan this morning. I go,
I'm not there yet. Basically, that also was a lie conversation, by the way. That was a lie conversation. That was a lie. Because he asked Rogan to perform. That's the thing with Brendan. He can never be honest, even in an honest moment. That was a rare, vulnerable moment where he was opening up his heart, being honest. He can't be honest then. He for sure asked Rogan, hey, can I perform at the Comedy Mothership? Rogan said no. Probably gave him a reason why. We're overbooked. Contact the other guy. Blah, blah, blah. Palmed him off. Or what I've heard on the forums, on the Reddits, the Fantasy Reddit specifically, somebody said that Brendan did ask Rogan, could you perform at the Comedy Mothership? Rogan said no, but said to him, if you want to start as like, so you can't headline, but if you want to start as like an opener, I guess, or I don't know what the other term is. If you're not a headliner, but you're on the lineup of people, I guess you're opener. I don't know, whatever. He said if you're going to start that way, you can perform. You have to kind of work your way up. But Brendan said, nah, he didn't want to do that. So, he's not performing there. So, boom.
I cannot listen to another podcast of you and anyone you've had at the club, the Mothership, and how fun it is.
I know.
Oh, you know what's really sad, by the way? I just saw on the Friday Kids subreddit, Brendan unfollowed the Comedy Mothership. He doesn't follow it anymore. He used to follow the page, but he unfollowed the page. Mwah, mwah, mwah. He hasn't got booked there. His friends keep playing there. He said he's quit comedy. He hasn't quit comedy. Who knows? He's taking time away, but he finally unfollowed the Comedy Mothership account on Instagram because the Comedy Mothership account, I guess, their following list is a bit of a, I guess it's a bit of a flex and a bit of a good thing if you get on there because they only follow people, I'm assuming, that either perform there or are friends of the club. So because he hasn't performed there yet, they don't follow him. They never have. And, he's feeling a bit sad, probably, bit left out. All these friends, even Eric Griffin's performing there. Fucking hell.
It makes me want to jump off a bridge.
Yeah, because
He doesn't give a shit about any of that, does he? He just does whatever the fuck he wants, and sometimes it works.
He does whatever he wants, and he's the leader of the pack.
Good.
Yeah.
What'd you rate it? How'd you rate it? On a scale to Brandon Schaub to 10, what'd you rate it?
That's a really good joke because I always forgot. I just thought about it now. He said from a scale of Brendan Schaub to 10. Meaning Brendan's a 0 or the 1. It's like, what a brilliant little quip. Look at Tony Hinchcliffe's face. He's loving that joke. Look at Tony Hinchcliffe's face. He's fucking loving it. And the fact that Joe's laughing is also proof that they're not as close as they once were. Because in the past, Joe would have never laughed. He would have used the opportunity to be like, hey man, I don't know, man. Guys, you have to be the hero of your own journey. And, it's not Brendan's fault that he's like a badass and, UFC, man, I don't know, man. Like, he would have definitely went into some sort of defense speech about Brendan and the importance of following your dreams and shit. The fact that he's laughing is proof they're not that close friends anymore, in my personal opinion. He doesn't want to say anything. He didn't say a word. Oh, that is fucking brutal. And Brendan's probably seen. That's the thing. Think if you're Brendan and you saw that. How that's going to hurt. The guy that gave you your career. A guy that books at the Comedy Store. Now he's got a new comedy club 9 years on. Now all of a sudden you're not good enough for him. And now he's on stage laughing at these random comics using you as a fucking punchline. I'd be fucking dead.
Brendan's my boy, but he needs a handler.
Yeah.
He needs someone like me around him all the time. What are you gonna do? No.
Yeah.
Here's why.
This is brutal, by the way. I forgot at the time. I thought this was funny, but Rogan get on these very big podcasts saying that Brendan needs a handler is almost like saying Brendan is redacted. I was gonna say the word actually, isn't it? Him saying that Brendan needs a handler is almost akin to him saying that Brendan is like one of the kids that goes on a special bus. Do you know what I mean? Who needs like a nice Colombian woman, right? Or Honduras lady to like walk him to school and shit and to wipe his mouth. Do you know what I mean? That's basically what he's basically saying. That's really fucking mean. And this is Rogan. That's the thing. Rogan said way meaner things about Brendan on his very big platform, way more than anyone has said on the fucking Friday Night Kids subreddit. Like, by his actions, he's probably been way harsher. He's probably made Brendan cry way more than anyone on the Friday Night Kids subreddit has. By not booking him at the mothership, by saying he needs a handler, by sitting on stage and laughing at somebody says a joke about him. It's kind of brutal.
Yeah.
And he'll go, yeah, you're right.
That, or if you listen to the wrong people, which I've been, guilty of, you listen to the wrong people. Hey, you should do this.
Oh my God, this is a horrible rant. This is like Brendan's admitting, this is like Brendan saying, without saying, that his career was derailed because he listened to the wrong people. Can you imagine the ego, how fragile the ego has to be that you can't accept that you fucked up? You fucked up your own career. You have to kind of blame other people for fucking it up and say, oh, they led me astray. They just gave me too many opportunities. I was confused by the choices. I was suffering from success. What could I do? Like, excuse me, sir? You was given the world on a fucking silver platter and you spunked it all up the wall. That's the stuff about Brendan that I don't like. The lack of accountability. Again, you don't need to be accountable to anybody. It's your own business. It's none of our business. Who cares? But if you're going to talk about it, be real. Be honest. Hey, I was given an amazing opportunity, probably more than I probably deserved, but, it's great to have good friends, and in this world, it's not what you know, it's who you know, which is the truth about it, right? The truth of the matter is, in most cases, it is about who you know and not what you know, especially in the entertainment field. As Rogan has proved, he's basically made millionaires out of average comedians. Bert Kreischer, Brendan Schaub included, like Tom, all these guys who are fucking average comedians have become multi-millionaires, super famous guys because of their association with Rogan. Cool, great. That's what some people are meant to be here for in the world. They're meant to give you a leg up. They're meant to help you out if they can help you out. Big up.
Why did Brendan unfollow the mothership on
Oh, so big up Skate Things. I said it before. Brendan unfollowed the mothership. I'm assuming because he's not getting booked there anymore. That's why I assume. I assume because they're not booking him anymore, Brendan said, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm not following you guys anymore. That's probably what happened. And he's probably sick of seeing the mothership on his feed. It wouldn't surprise me if he's probably, what's that thing you can do on Instagram? You can mute things, right? He's probably muted it as well. Like mentions on the mothership because he's now technically quit comedy. So I'm assuming he probably got annoyed. It probably made him feel sad to keep opening up his Instagram and seeing pictures of his friends or people that he used to know in comedy, doing weekends there. People like Eric Griffin, probably other folks as well. And just generally seeing the vibe. Because even I like it. Like, I'm not even a comedian, but I'm sure you guys are the same. When you check out the Comedy Mothership Instagram account, it's easy to get hyped. Because it's quite cool. They handle it in social media really well there. They're always showing great pictures of the ambiance and the vibe, pictures of the bar, pictures of people arriving, video clips of people getting announced on the stage and shit. It seems like a cool place to be. So I can imagine for someone like Brendan who's super close to the action, it probably feels incredibly left out that he's not, playing there. And he's not really invited, it's kind of awful. Because if you think about it really, he's not got any connection to Austin apart from Rogan. Really and truly, like friends, So if Rogan's not really his friend anymore, he's kind of out in the lurch. So I get why he unfollowed them. It's a bit of a bitch move, but I do get it because if you've technically quit, you don't want to keep seeing that shit on your timeline. It's going to make you upset. Personally, I don't believe in unfollowing. I don't believe in blocking. I've never unfollowed or blocked anyone in my entire life. I think that's incredibly lame and GAY. I think to be so triggered by somebody that you go on their account and you I'm going to block you. It's fucking redacted. Just ignore them. It's not that hard. Just put your phone down, walk away from it. It's like the fucking famous Tyler, the Creator bullying quote. How can you get cyberbullied? Just turn your phone off. It's not that fucking hard. But people sometimes are a bit sensitive. Brendan being one of them. So I guess it is what it is. Big up Skate Things.
or you should do this, and you realize they don't have your best interest in hand, then you go down that road. And now I don't even talk to some of these people. I'm like, oh, what was I thinking? Why would I?
What? So he's saying he was led astray by people. So he's trying to say they purposely sabotaged him, led him astray, and now he doesn't talk to them. So what do you want? So they led you astray. Now you're like, oh shit, I fucked up. So what, you want to talk to them to tell you back where to go again? Bro, figure it out, man. Dana White was right, innit? That Dana White quote was right. Dana White, when Brendan and Dana White were going back and forth, Dana did say in one time in the comments, when Rogan leaves this guy, it'll be over for him. I'm paraphrasing, something along those kind of lines. Dana White said, when Rogan stops helping him, it's going to be done. And it's proved that now, look at his career. As soon as Rogan stepped away and stopped like protecting him, stopped being his boy, stopped defending him on his podcast, stopped really platforming him that much, you know, things have kind of gone to shit for the guy. He does technically need a handler. If he doesn't have somebody holding his hand, you know?
Do that.
What about not to? And my family was really mad at Joe.
Oh, by the way, I didn't see that. Big up Koila. Did he say best interest in hand? No way. I wish that no. I didn't see he said best interest in hand. Did he say best interest in hand? Hold on.
Or if you listen to the wrong people, which I've been, guilty of, you listen to the wrong people. Hey, you should do this, or you should do this, and you realize they don't have your best interest in hand.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you think he got confused because he looked at his hand? I think that's what happened. I think he said best interest in hand because he looked at his hand. I think so. Watch it carefully. Watch. Listen. Watch.
Guilty of, you listen to the wrong
talking,
people. Hey, you should do this,
he's got his hands
or
in
you
front
should
of
do
him.
this, and you realize they don't have your best interest in hand.
Yeah, I think he said it because he looked at his hand. It's so fucking dumb. I think he said it because he held his hand up and he was looking at his hand. He said best interest. It's like when you're thinking about something, then you think about something else and you type it and then you say the other thing, the thing you think about originally. Wow, he's so fucking redacted. Hey yo, big up Uche. Welcome on Uche. Thank you for joining. What's good, Uche? Hope you're well. What are you guys saying? Dexter Watson. Interesting theory. Big up Dexter Watson. Y'all think he chose not to purchase a Tesla because Bappa is trying to separate himself from Rogan. Bappa's way of kid holding their breath because they're mad at their parents. No, I think Brendan has that contrarian thing in him. Yeah, no, this is what I think. This is what I think. This is a long theory. This is a stretch theory, right? Stretch theory. Hear me out. Stretch theory, hear me out. I think Brendan realized very early on that Rogan kind of likes when people disagree with him in like a fun way. So if you remember early episodes of Brendan on Rogan, he wasn't always like, yeah, me too, Rogan, me too, which he is now. In the early times, he was quite, I wouldn't say combative, but he would kind of push back when Rogan said certain things about fighters, when he said certain things about cars, when he said certain things about some TV thing. Brendan would always have like an opposing opinion. And I think he noticed quite quickly, being a sociopath that he is, that Rogan seemed to like that because Rogan's so rich and famous, he's probably surrounded by loads of fucking people that want to give him the Glock 10,000 every single day, every single time, without fucking doubt. They're probably pushing his wife out of the way, kicking her down the stairs in order to get on their knees and suck him off, right? So Rogan is devoid of that kind of real conversation with a real human being who has their own opinions and isn't just trying to suck up to him. So Brendan noticed that if he keeps disagreeing with him or having like a contrarian view or being Mr. Opposite Man, Rogan kind of like pecks up like, oh, wow, I have a friend, you know? So I think that's what he did. So the Tesla thing, because Rogan sucks off Elon, because Elon is basically what Rogan is to Brendan, you know? If Brendan sucks off Rogan, then Rogan definitely sucks off Elon. They're like a centipede, right? They're definitely going in that direction. So, because Brendan knows that Rogan loves fucking Elon, right? He fucking worships that guy, puts on a fucking nice shirt for him when he comes in and does an interview. I think for that reason, that's why Brendan is so anti-Tesla. So he can be like, you know, oh my God, you hate the guy that I fucking love. He's like, oh, it's so cool, man. This guy's crazy. Oh, he's got so many opinions. You should start a podcast. So I think that's what they do. I think that's the case. Again, it's a stretch. It's only a theory. I'm fucking redacted. I spend way too much time caring about this stuff. I'm a fucking idiot. I have no life. I get it. But that's my theory, and I'm standing with it. Alhamdulillah.
Then you go down that road, and now I don't even talk to some of these people. I'm like, oh, what was I thinking? Why would I do that?
What about
not to? And my family was really mad at Joe. Really.
My family was really mad at Joe. Who's your family? Your wife that's like barely alive. She's fucking always comatose. I don't know how many prescription drugs she's under every given day. Who actually cares about that Rogan saying you fucking need a handler? Come on, your dad. His dad doesn't even know he does comedy. Remember the video? Good luck with your fucking presentation. Do you remember that video where he's crying? Rogan's dad said something. Brendan's dad said something like, "Oh, congratulations on the comedy show. What you call it? Good luck on your presentation." Brendan's dad doesn't even know what he fucking does as a career. He just sends him money. Like, look, leave me alone. Brendan and his mom don't have the best relationship, from what I can tell. He doesn't really speak about her. So who cares? Your family were upset with Rogan. Who? Tiger, Boston. Come on, bro. Tank, R.I.P.
Man, I told Joe this. Like, my dad was pissed. My brother was pissed at him for that.
Because Joe says he needs a handler. The Shaw family were about to fucking descend on fucking Austin, Texas and beat Joe's ass. They're going to beat Joe's ass. Joey going to beat your ass.
Like, you see, it's a little embarrassing.
Who is the most hated man on the internet?
His name is Hunter Moore. I don't know.
Brendan Schaub just went like this.
Whitney made it so much worse by diving under the table. It's so funny. Whitney made it so much worse by diving under the table. I swear to God. Whitney made it so much worse. Whitney made it so much worse.
So, good luck with that.
And I'm in Nashville next Thursday. 2 shows, one night only at Zany's in Nashville. Then I'm at the Step Mothership Volk.
Oh, look at him looking at Rogan before he says it. I didn't even notice it. He looked at Rogan before he said Step Mothership. He gave Rogan, look at that, Rogan. Look at that. I'm at the Step Mothership. He looks at Rogan before he said it. Look at his eyes. Oh, man. I can't help but feel bad for the guy. I'm not going to lie. It's nice to laugh at him, but God almighty. He went from being like Rogan's dude. Like, Brendan was Mark Norman, Shane Gillis, Ari Shaffir, Tom Papa, what's his name? He was all those people rolled into one at one point for Rogan. Then it all changed. And now he's like, he kind of just tolerates him. And now Brendan's trying everything to get his attention. Look, Dad, look what I can do. Mom, look what I draw. Look, Dad. Like, oh, damn it.
Ship Vulcan, Friday, Saturday.
Great club, hate the name.
Great club. He's so depressed. Look, I enjoyed Fat Brendan, Whiskey Brendan. I enjoyed that time. Now, Uche, that was one of the fight. That was one of the fight companions, I think. One of the previous ones, one of the fight companions. To be fair, though, that's the thing that's hard to judge. I don't know how to judge it. I judge people on what they say as well, because Brendan still does go on JRE, just not by himself. He does a lot of the fight companions still, so him and Rogan are probably still friends, but I don't think you could ask Rogan for favors anymore. Probably not. And obviously, the comedy club thing is a big deal, but that's probably the big issue. But they're probably still friends in some way, because why is Rogan still inviting him to do the fight companion if they're not friends? You know what I mean? It's a bit strange to not like somebody, but then invite them to sit down with you on a podcast for 3 hours watching UFC. Doesn't make any sense, does it?
That gay episode?
The first.
I cried.
Shut the fuck up.
It's been
Don't
out
be a
for
spoiler.
3 weeks.
No, I'm just
bro.
watching it. I'm just watching it now.
What episode
Shut the
are you
fuck
on?
up.
What episode are you on?
Just watch that one.
everything.
Wow, he told him to shut the fuck up 3 times. Ouch. Shut the fuck up. But to be fair, though, that's one of the things that Brendan was really bad at back in the day. He used to spoil shows so badly, so aggressively. Like, oh, God almighty. But that was a bit blunt, bro. Rogan really gave him the shut the fuck up treatment like 3 or 4 times.
That gay
I only saw
episode?
the first.
I cried.
Shut the fuck up.
It's been
Don't
out
be a
for
spoiler.
3 weeks,
No, I'm just
bro.
watching it. I'm just watching it now.
What episode
Shut
are
the
you
fuck
on?
up.
What episode are you on?
Just watch that one.
spoils everything.
But that, no.
Those days are over, dude. You got to figure it out on your own.
Yeah, I think this time I just don't care. That's where I'm at. I gotta be home more. I'm gonna pull back from touring so much.
I thought his dream was to do stand-up comedy. This is one thing I would like someone to ask him. Like, how about your fans who have been invested in your journey? What about your actual fans? The ones that turned up to the Gringo Pappy, tapings. The ones that actually buy the tickets even though you cancel last minute. The ones who buy merch. The ones who watch every episode. What about them? What about your actual fans? Then you owe them an apology for just quitting out of the blue. And then starting to what? Drive cars now. Come on, bro.
And I just gotta be home, man. I got to. I can't miss Tigers games. Can't miss my Bosty growing up. Baby girl. I can't do it anymore. I'm tired, man. I'm tired.
Jesus Christ, man. This is worse than J. Cole apologizing to fucking Kendrick. This is far worse. He spoke so much bossy talk about how big and bad he was, and then that's how he went out of the game. God damn it, bro. You gotta do better. You gotta fucking do better. Yeah, you know what? Uche's right. Brendan threatening Bobby Lee definitely was the final nail in the coffin. Because by all accounts, as much as Bobby Lee sometimes annoys me, he's one comedian who universally is loved by everybody. They always speak so glowingly about him. He's genuinely loved. So to go against someone like that and to make them feel bad, like, do you know what I mean? Like, that was just like too far. He did too much. He probably could get away with bullying, quote unquote, other people, but Bobby Lee's probably the one person who everybody would have been like, okay, cool. Now you're doing too much. Now enough of you. Do you know what I mean? So he probably overestimated his importance to people. Or his status or something. I mean, he overestimated it. He definitely overestimated his importance, and he definitely underestimated how much people love Bobby Lee. And it hasn't been the same since. But again, like that Bobby Lee thing as well, it's like, how does it turn into like Bobby Lee's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend accusing you of like trying to hook up with her? How does that turn into you accusing them of running covert ops and secretly being behind the Fighting the Kid subreddit? And then having alleged hackers, get 600 pages of documents which you still haven't been able to produce to prove that it's like, what the? How does that work in your brain as a fucking lie? Like, what? The reason why I tried to fuck your girlfriend is because I saw that you were the one that ran the Fighting the Kid subreddit. So, excuse me? Like, huh? Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, big up Assad.
Brendan's childhood dreams changed with his hobbies.
Yeah, exactly. His North Star was Jim Carrey. He always wanted to appear on Saturday Night Live. He always wanted to be a stand-up comedian. He never really wanted to do sports. He just did it because he was big and strong. But he really wanted to be the class clown. But his dad wanted him to. That's what he used to say. He kind of twisted the narrative and basically started saying his dad's the one that pushed him to play football. No, it's my dad that wanted me to play football. I didn't even want to play it. It's my dad. Excuse me? Your dad wanted to... Come on, bro. Come on. Brendan, you know Brendan wanted to be a famous football... that's what I was going to say. I caught myself there. But it's the truth. You know Brendan wanted to be a famous football player. Not a good one, a famous one, for sure. That was definitely his dream. To be a famous one, retire, get on ESPN, be a fucking analyst or pundit, have his podcast on the sign, get signed by Barstool. Yeah, that's what he probably wanted, but for some reason, the football thing didn't work out. For some reason as well, I've always wondered, like, for some reason, the Barstool guy never warmed to Brendan. He's never appeared on the Fighting the Kid. That one time it was him and Tim and I think and Theo or something on the thing. He was really annoyed that Brendan was there. Like, I don't know why. Like, Dave Portnoy is never warmed to Brendan. He never liked him ever. And you know that deep down Brendan would love to be a Barstool sports guy, right? He'd love to be in that fucking crew. But I don't know. Dave Portnoy never really warmed to him. KFC and that guy obviously did. That was the only person I think that warmed to him from that camp. But Dave Portnoy never warmed to him. And you'd think they'd been to the same shit. But I guess, in all manners of life, everyone could sniff out a bullshit artist. And I think at that case, maybe Dave Portnoy probably sussed out that Brendan was, full of shit. And he's like, you know what? I don't need you in my life. I don't need you in my motherfucking life. Moving on. Let's watch this clip quickly and then we go to the Jelly Roll one. Let's watch this clip. This is fucking frightening. So you guys seen this? This is an update on coaching Little League T. T has attitude problems. Oh, really? Who would have thought Brendan would raise kids in LA that go to a private school who have very vapid and materialistic parents? Who would have guessed that one of their kids might have turned out to have attitude problems? Who would have guessed it? I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked, mate. I'm shocked. So let's see his video. Big up the Find the Kids subreddit, guys, for uploading this. Let's see what Brendan's saying about his little T monster having some attitude problems while playing the good old basketball. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what's happening here. This should be an interesting one.
Well, and then he just started pitching, and they had him starting pitcher and then batting fourth, right? So he's like a little Ohtani. And his mom knows baseball. Her side of the family, like, sleeps and lives. They know baseball. Her brother went very far in baseball. They went to all his games, traveled. They know baseball. And when Tiger first started pitching, Joanna goes, he doesn't like pitching. I was like, what are you talking about? And I'm a coach there too, so I just go. I just go. They want Tiger to pitch, and then they had him start. He's always like loves playing baseball, and then he would show some signs. We're like, dude, just throw it down the middle. What are you doing? Let's go here. And then yesterday at the game, I was like, hey, you're gonna close out the game, man. We need you. Let's go. And you can tell his like demeanor's a little different. I'm like, oh, that's weird. So where he does things, strikes out 3 guys, but he's like his mood is awful. His attitude's awful, and that's not like him. Like, what the fuck? And even the coach's like, what's going on with him? I'm like, I don't know, man.
By the way, this podcast has fallen off, and it's definitely struggling for content, and they don't know what to talk about, and they clearly aren't friends anymore, because this type of stuff they would never allow. If the podcast was thriving, they would have never spoken about this stuff at length. Because it has so many other things going on. My show, oh my God, this heckler, did you hear about this comedian, They'd be talking about that, but because their lives are pretty boring nowadays, and they clearly don't talk to each other that much, now these mundane family catch-up things about their kids and shit, which is fucking boring content, personally. I think, like, keep that stuff out of the podcast. Keep it for your private life. We don't give a fuck about your kid. No one gives a fuck. But the fact that they're talking about this at length is proof that the pod is really fucking falling off. They're struggling for stuff to talk about. So let me spend 5 to 10 minutes talking about how my baby has an attitude problem or had a bit of a temper tantrum. It's like, so what? But bloody hell, man. R.I.P. to Friday the Kid.
So then goes in for the second inning, throws a strike, but he threw over, at this level, he threw over like 60 pitches, so I have to take him out. But his attitude's awful. I couldn't figure out. So the worst you've ever seen. I'm like, that is not my son. What the hell's going on there? And then
Brendan's going to be in for a nightmare when his kid becomes a teenager, isn't it? He's already struggling the first hurdle. So I guess T was at an age before where he was just like a vessel, right? He's just like a body. Like, he just, whatever his dad said, he just did. But now he's starting to grow up and have his own personality. And have his own things that he likes and not likes. And maybe Brendan's pushing him so much, he's actually starting to not like playing baseball anymore. So he's going to be able to, for such a rude awakening when his kid becomes a teenager. He's already struggling now with just this little bit of resistance. And imagine, he's only having these problems because he's not doing stand-up. If he was touring and shit, his wife would have to deal with this stuff, right? That's what all the comedians' wives do. The comedians' wives raise the kids. They go outside, finger bang waitresses, eat fucking chicken nuggets and shit, drink beer, do some comedy and go home. But their wives and girlfriends raise the kids. So he wouldn't have to deal with this if he actually had that's the really brutal side of things. If he could sell tickets, he wouldn't need to see this shit. He'd come back and he'd be like, oh, daddy's home. He'd be the cool dad coming back with the McDonald's and shit. But because his comedy career is in the putter, he's now having to raise his kids and he's realizing, oh shit, raising your children is actually quite hard.
We get back and I'm talking to him. And
I'm talking to him. I usually never talk to him unless I'm telling him to do burpees. I'm actually having a conversation with my son, and I'm realizing, oh shit, I don't really know this guy.
It's like, I don't get it, man. Like, you haven't been pitching that long, and you can pitch, dude. Like, most kids can't throw strikes. You're striking kids out. How are you not excited about this? And he was like, I don't know. And I don't know if he didn't want to, like,
or maybe he didn't understand what was going on with himself.
He did. Well, the thing is, and what I realized last night is,
wow, they had a really tough moment, isn't it? What's going on in the Shub household? This is a really heavy moment. This is actually the real Brendan coming out. Whenever he talks about his children and his family, I feel like he doesn't lie. for sure he doesn't lie. He actually tells you the truth. He doesn't lie. In some cases, he will kind of bend the truth a little bit to be like a beast of a dad. But most of the time, this is the best, the most honest version you're gonna get of him. Look at this guy. Like, that's actually a person in deep contemplative thought, like thinking about, oh shit, what have I created? All of these times I've taken this kid to fucking car shows and got him obsessed with Ferraris and Porsches, and taking him to private schools where he's, you know, classmates with fucking the children of fucking class, top tier Hollywood actors. Maybe that was a bad decision. Maybe surrounding this kid with like all the riches and glories of a kid who should be, look, yeah, maybe surrounding this kid with stuff that he probably shouldn't have at his age has kind of bit me in the ass. He's probably realizing now, maybe pushing this kid to be a professional baseball player wasn't the best way to go about things. Maybe.
He's missing the signs. He doesn't like pitching. But I was like, no, do it. Like, the team needs you. You're going to do this. So that's on me. Then B, and he said this. He goes, just because I'm good at something doesn't mean I have to do it.
Damn.
Yep, big boy statement.
Damn.
And I was like, but you do, right? No, I didn't say that. And then, but C, what I realized is he doesn't know how to.
Oh my God, bro. The Fire and the Kids subreddit guys again. Honestly, the Fire and the Kids subreddit guys are fucking Nostradamus. I swear to God, I remember somebody saying, I'm counting down the day until Brendan's kid says he doesn't want to play baseball anymore. Somebody says something of the kind of ilk on the Fire and the Kids subreddit. They're counting down the days until Brendan's kid says, I don't want to play baseball anymore. Because Brendan was acting as if like this kid was about to get signed for the fucking Mets. Oh yeah, I'm quitting comedy. We're committing the whole summer to fucking doing this. What?
Yo, comedian wives like basketball wives but more redacted. Oz, you should sell this to VH1.
yeah. He's like, oh my God. To be fair, I don't think comedians will do that. Comedians are smart in that respect. I don't think comedians would ever let their wives get on that sort of platform and embarrass them, because I think comedians' wives and partners are also the great holder. The comedian wives and partners are like the Benny Gesserit in Dune. That's what they are. Comedian wives and partners are the Benny Gesserit in Dune. They hold all the keys. They hold all the secrets. They're the real fucking puppet masters in the background. But you never want them to get them in front of camera because they can reveal some things that most comedians would be embarrassed to be revealed. So, you know, that relationship, that's why it always stays off the gram and it's kind of a bit whatever it may be. But for sure, that would be a fucking great show to see what it actually is like. How useless these guys actually are. How immature, how childlike these adult men in there, you know, these middle-aged white men are. It's fucking incredible. Number one being Brian Callen. I'd love to see a fucking, you know, desperate comedy wives of Brian Callen. This 62-year-old man that has like 2 toddlers. Do you know what I mean? It would be incredible to see how legitimately useless he is and how little help he offers around the house. And the fact that he lets his fucking, you know, super young wife just deal with all the household chores while he goes and gallivants around town, you know, in a state of arrested development, trying to play touch butt and trying to rejuvenate a career that's already dead. Incredible. But yeah, going back to that point, it's almost wild how everybody predicted this time would come. And it should be obvious, isn't it? I think anybody that has kids or anybody that's had, because I've been lucky in that I don't think, my parents never pushed any of us in anything except education. When it came to sports, that was your own thing. Go do what you fucking want to do. Figure it out. If you break your knee, whatever, don't come to me and cry. But when it came to education, they obviously pushed all of us because, you know, education's key. But when it came to sports, we were never like pushed to like, yeah, make it. Just play what you enjoy. Do what you like. Do what you enjoy. If you want to take it seriously, we'll help you where we can. But it was never like, oh, we're going to put all our hopes and dreams into you to making it. And I felt like at a time that when Brendan was like, you know, allegedly cancelling shows to teach these kids how to play baseball and saying they're going to run hills. I forgot. I think I remember one time on stream, I said to myself, hold on, isn't this kid like 7 years old? So it's different if your kid is like 13. Fair enough. Maybe they're in like a youth team of a Major League Baseball side. Fair play. But if they're 7, at that age, they should just be doing everything. Badminton, karate, gymnastics, swimming. It doesn't matter. Just let them do everything for fun. And whatever they kind of warm to or get, you know, or show an acumen for, they can take professionally. But usually in sports anyway, if a kid has got some natural, God-given abilities to become professional in a certain sport, they usually see it from when they're tiny anyway. So you don't need to do anything. You just need to just let them do their thing.
And naturally, the coaches who know what to look for will be like, oh shit, yeah, that he's got it, she's got it, and just sign them up. You don't need to put them through a camp. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work that way. The camp thing probably works later on in life. Like, if you want to, push yourself further to try and get signed, you could probably do that yourself, whatever. But I don't know. It's just not. It just doesn't happen that way. And I think Brendan got, he saw these MLB contracts and got too excited and literally was envisioning his kid providing him with a life where he didn't have to work anymore. Okay, I'm going to bank on my kid. Cast Media flopped. The Podcast One deal is a bit shitty. I don't get as many ads as before. The views are dwindling. Audio isn't king. Okay, I'm going to put all my chips into my kid. Imagine if that was the reason. Imagine if the reason why he quit comedy is because he actually wanted to make his kid pro in baseball. Imagine that. Imagine if the reason why he quit comedy wasn't because of the lack of ticket sales. He actually wanted to invest all of his time and resources into bringing his kid pro. He hired that coach, right? That really cringeworthy coach online that was crying in front of Brendan saying, "You mean so much to me, man." All that shit, right? He gave him a coach. Like, he probably bought him like hundreds of thousands worth of fucking gear. And now he's just like, just because I'm good at something, it doesn't mean I have to do it. Tiger's rebelling. Oh shit. Honestly, I feel kind of bad for him.
He doesn't know how to deal with failure. And when I think back on all the stuff we've done, so jiu-jitsu dominated right away. Dominated.
He doesn't have to deal with failure. That's your interpretation. Hold on. The kid said, just because I'm good at something, I don't have to do it. And your interpretation where he doesn't have to deal with failure. Isn't he saying to you he doesn't want to play baseball at that level? He doesn't really care. Or he's getting a bit put off by how serious and how high stakes everything is. It's not fun anymore. Maybe that's what he's saying. How did he interpret it as like, he doesn't... What?
Gifted, right? Nobody beat him ever. They took everybody down. Football, undefeated. Never had any issues. MVP. No.
Football undefeated? How can you be undefeated in football? What does that even mean? Football undefeated? So what, every time he played in a team, they never lost? Is that what he's trying to say? If that's if that's true, he'd be signed to the fucking, LA Galaxy, wouldn't he? It's MLS. It's not fucking playing football in Europe. The standard over there is not that high. It's not as high as it is in Europe. The competition's still high, but it's not as high as over here. If he was that good, and every team he played in, they always won, he'd be signed to the LA Galaxy already right now. What is this conversation? Huh?
Issues at all. Baseball, he's only 8 months in, made the All-Star team, made a travel team, MVP of the team, didn't know how to fail. Now it's different, a little more competitive. He's never pitched before. A lot of that he's gotten off with his...
Peace and love from Michigan. Tiger gives the smallest amount of pushback, and this beast of a dad says that not my son. There's no baseball in crime.
Not my son. There's no baseball in crying. It's fucking hilarious. Not my son. Because he's not listening anymore. He's not just doing burpees without... He's not just doing burpees without fucking clapping back, innit? He's just, he's not the robot that Brendan once loved. Oh my God. Not my son is fucking incredible. Oh, my fucking eyes. Oh shit. Big up, Andrew. Appreciate you. Not my son. It's fucking incredible. There's no baseball incredible. But I swear to God, hold on. Let me get, because I don't have the stream chat available to watch now, but please let me know in the stream chat. Am I being dumb? Am I interpreting this wrong? If the kid said to him clearly in fucking English, hey, it's not fun anymore, or just because I'm good at something doesn't mean I have to play it, and he's being stroppy and moody around the fucking thing, isn't that usually a sign that the kid's not having fun anymore and he just doesn't want to play? Why is Brendan seeing it as like, oh, he's not used to losing? That's why he has an attitude problem. Can somebody explain to me? Am I reading this wrong? Isn't the kid clearly saying he doesn't want... Either T doesn't want to play baseball anymore, or he just needs a bit of a break. It's been a bit too high stakes, you know what I mean? He's playing for all these teams and they're playing in important competitions. The parents of the sides are fucking shouting and the coaches are shouting at him. It's all become a little bit not fun anymore. So he probably just needs a break, or maybe he just doesn't like it anymore now. But I don't get the assumption. I don't get this interpretation that he's like not good at losing. Huh?
Athletic ability, he's put a lot of work in. Pitching, you can't You just because you're big, strong, and faster.
Pitching gets yourself some ways too.
But pitching is.
Yeah, I'm so lucky. Big up Sim Pulse. Yo, so I'm saying it's not fun when your dad forces you to do something socially. I remember being in teams, Sunday league football teams, and seeing that dad on the sideline. It was even worse when you played for a football team where the dad had a kid that played in a team. Oof, that was brutal. That was really uncomfortable because they'd be having like full-blown arguments, like dad and son things, and you'd have to pretend like you couldn't hear and just keep on playing and just like mind your business as they're like shouting at each other and like clearly like, you know, getting a little bit testy with each other. Or if it was a parent on the sidelines, literally like shouting at their kid and coaching them through the entire game. It's like, bro, let your kid have some fun, man. Stop screaming at them. It's not that important. They're not playing in the fucking Champions League. We're playing in this fucking shitty park with like dog shit all over the place. There's holes in the ground. You know what I mean? Probably knives buried somewhere underground. It's not that deep. Like, relax.
You got to have the mechanics, and he doesn't have those tools. So when he throws a ball or, you know, he's down on the count, he doesn't know how to manage it. So he's getting really frustrated, and like there's so much pressure.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing as well. Like, people are saying, big up Assad as well. When I was taller than other kids, I never wanted to play center in basketball. Kids just want to have fun. It's not fun playing a role you don't have. That's the thing. I only thought about it now because of this conversation. But really and truly, when you're playing, until you get to like maybe like early teenage years, maybe like 13 to 15, that's when you start to maybe realize, oh shit, there could be a career in this, right? Maybe kids nowadays are different because they have access to the internet and social media. They can see everything. So maybe there are kids out there that want to be Messi or Ronaldo when they're like 10. But most of the time, you're just playing sports because your friends are, just to hang out, just because it's fun. So your friends are doing it. You want to hang out with your friends, so you just play the sport. That's all the reason. Like most of the kids in London who've played basketball only played basketball. I remember because I think there was a school around near. There was a school near where I went to that all the kids there were really good at basketball. But guess what? It's because they didn't have a football pitch. It was just a circumstances thing. They only had a fucking basketball court, a concrete one with some shitty fucking hoops and shit, but one that you could play on. So because that was all they had, when it was break time, guess what? They all just played basketball and they all got really good, but it didn't mean that they were like trying to become NBA players and all this shit. No, it wasn't that deep. They just, played the sport that was to hand. But I can't imagine if you're a literal child, if you're under 10, being like taken to games with your dad, like coaching you in a car, giving you pep talks on the way to the field, shouting and, fucking pointing at you and stuff on the sidelines. Like, it must be so awful. It must be like literally the opposite of fun to have all that. That's not like, what? I want to, and especially if like your dad starts to put you in teams. So now he's taking you away from your friends. You play baseball to hang out with your friends, and now he's purposely putting you in certain teams because he wants you to be pro. But then you're now playing with some random kids you don't fucking know. Like, come on, bro. That is not fun in the slightest. Absolutely awful, and it's bad too because I get the feeling that Brendan probably had the same experience with his dad, or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he's making up for it. Maybe he thinks his dad should have done this for him. That's why he's doing it to his kid. But let's say his dad was pushy. You then shouldn't, you shouldn't like put your kids through that. You should have learned the lesson. Okay, cool. That didn't help me when I was younger. Blah, 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 blah. And kind of make it right. But God almighty, bro. Like, I swear, I don't know how old this kid is, but I've got a feeling he's anywhere between like 7 and 10. This is just too much. Like, even this conversation is too heavy. Like, for a fucking 7 to 10-year-old, like, what? He just doesn't want to play anymore. Or he wants a break. Like, give him a break. Give him a fucking Frisbee. Or give him a fucking Game Boy or something, whatever. And let him fucking, chill out for a bit. It's not that deep. He might come back to it later. But come on, bro. You're banking your whole career on your fucking 7-year-old.
Just, and I was talking to the head coach last night. And he's like, dude, he just laughs nonstop. He's the life of the team. He has so much fun. He's hitting home, doing his thing. And he goes, if you've noticed this season, he's not smiling as much. He's like, the only thing that's changed is pitching. I was like, all right. So then last night, T was just about to go to bed. I woke him up, like, hey, buddy, because we had this long talk about his attitude.
We had a long talk about his attitude. I bet you in that conversation about his attitude, Brendan definitely said, look, if you want to be pro, you can't have this attitude if you want to be pro. You probably gave him one of those conversations. If you want to be pro, if you want to be like Otani, you can't have this attitude. You know what I mean? If you want to contract like Otani, if you want to help mommy and daddy out, if you want to buy back daddy, if you want to help daddy to buy back all these cars he sold,
to put you through baseball. You have to be able to have a good. You have to have a good attitude, man. There's no baseball in crying, you know.
And I just told him, I said, "Hey, you're not gonna pitch anymore," and he was so relieved.
Wow.
And I couldn't sleep. I felt so bad.
So the connection and the fucking niceties that they had was when he told his kid, "Hey, you can't pitch." Beast of a dad.
I'm like, how did I not see
It's
this?
all right. Because you don't know until you know. Until
He threw
shows you.
signs. I think
I hate the way Brian's sitting. He's almost sitting like one of those dolls, isn't it? That ventriloquists use, isn't it? Isn't why is he sitting like that for? He's so small. It feels like the chair is like lifting him up from the ground. That's how tiny he is.
I think everybody else could see it, but I think because
you don't hang out with your kid, you don't talk to your kid outside of giving him instructions to run up a hill, do burpees, swing his bat. Now that you're speaking to him, you're starting to realize this is incredible.
the level of sports I played, I'm like, no, do it, dude. Like, this is what we need.
Grind through.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep just because I was like, how did I not see these signs? You know,
Because you're not present. That's the thing. Imagine you quit comedy to spend more time with your kids, but then you still don't see the signs. It's fucking incredible. Big up Assad.
His 7 years old threw a fit. Turned sports psychologist.
Exactly. That's his North Star, innit? I've always wanted to be a sports psychologist. Admitting that you don't know your kid on a national podcast on a worldwide podcast is fucking one of the things that is amazing. I had no idea that my kid had an attitude problem. He's not got an attitude problem. He just doesn't like you pushing him to become the next Otani when he's fucking 7.
felt bad. And then, but also from where I come from in sports, it's like, yeah, it's gonna be tough. You figure it out. But at 8, when it's taking the fun out of it, like the reason we do it is because he has fun doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you don't do it because he has fun. That's a lie, by the way. He keeps saying this. He probably just asked him what's that famous story? Oh, you're having fun, right? You're having fun. You probably just ask him one of those questions that you can't really answer, but it's not really about him having fun. No way. This baseball thing is definitely done in the pursuit of him being professional, getting signed to a team. That's definitely the reason why they're doing this. There's no other reason why, that he's committing all of these resources, all this time. He's even, imagine, it's become a segment on the fucking pod. It's become a segment, like, my kid doing baseball and shit. This is like, it's almost like they're trying to document the journey so that all this conversation could be played in some B-roll when the kid does eventually get signed to a professional team. It's fucking embarrassing, bro.
I don't believe that he is as involved as he says. Why would I believe this when the rest is lies?
Exactly. And this is the proof. He says he's involved with his son a lot and teaches him baseball. It's like, hold on. How involved are you? And how involved are you? You say you're one of the coaches, but if you're one of the coaches, why didn't you recognize this? Why did the other coach have to tell you? Why did the other coach had to tell you that your son isn't smiling anymore? He didn't even notice his son wasn't smiling. Forget all the other stuff, but he didn't even notice he wasn't smiling. What? Honestly, this is one of the most bizarre clips I've seen in my entire fucking life.
Fun would stop, but
Right.
I felt awful. Awful.
Well,
I apologized to him this
know
morning.
though until sometimes it's really easy to miss those signs.
I think part of the problem is because
No, it isn't easy to miss the signs. If you're there and you're present and you talk to your kid and you communicate with them in a clear and grown up and, non-pushy fashion, you should get these bits of information. The fact that he doesn't is a proof that they don't communicate that well. Or maybe the kid doesn't feel comfortable telling his dad because you can see in his dad's eyes that he really wanted to make it pro. Like, kids are receptive, man. I knew when I was a kid, I knew that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? You pick up on stuff even when your parents are trying to hide it from you. So he probably can see in his dad's eyes that his whiskey stained eyes, that he definitely wants him to become pro. Like, he can tell, he's inviting strange, bald Hispanic men to come and teach him. Like, come on, man.
Look, Rink's legs are dangling on the chair.
Yeah, exactly. They're dangling, exactly. Big up Alex. Appreciate it, brother. Big up Alex. Wild one to Alex. What are you guys saying? Andrew W, I'm looking actually feeling so bad. Yeah, exactly, Andrew. I'm feeling bad for Tiger too. My God, I couldn't imagine. What are you guys saying here? I've seen nervous breakdowns on the mound. Baseball is so unique in that everyone is looking at you specifically. Yeah, okay. That's a really good point. That's a really good point, actually. I've never really played baseball. It's not really the big here. The only thing equivalent to it is probably cricket, but I never really enjoyed that either. It was too slow for me. I was decent at that, actually. I wasn't too bad at cricket, but
I couldn't, again, the mass thing, the patience thing, it wasn't for me, to be fair. But yeah, like, I think any sport where your parents are pushing you, especially at that type of age, it's not going to be fun. Especially when you're not really, you haven't decided. Like, there are some freaks that do exist, kids. I've grown up with some of them who were actively trying to become professional in their sport themselves. They had their own internal drive and ambition, and their parents matched it and kind of gave them all the resources they had to help them, took them to trials and what's up. Those kids do exist. I think Marcus Rashford was one of them. Marcus Rashford from Man United, I think he says it in his book about his single mum taking him to trials and shit. But that was mostly him as well, seeing, okay, cool, I want to help my family. I'm really good at this shit. I want to take this forward. I want to be pro, blah, blah, blah. But most kids, not really, bro. Like, I don't know, you play sports just because you want to hang out with your friends. It really is only that. And maybe you enjoy playing it, but you just want to hang out with your friends. All your friends are playing a certain sport, you do it. If all your friends are playing video games, you do that too. It's not really that hard to kind of contest. But yeah, Brendan is like, wow, what a great dad. What a fucking great dad. Quits comedy to spend time with his kid, then gets surprised his kid has an attitude problem. Love it. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. He's surprised that he doesn't want to play. Yeah, no, he doesn't know how to lose. It's like, what? Oh, let me repeat that one. I want to repeat that section one more time, because that really is perplexing me. He had an attitude problem. Then I realized he didn't want to play. Like, what? Let's read one more section. Let's replay this. One more time.
And I'm a coach there too, so I just go. I just go. They want to tell you to pitch.
By the way, that's not good. That's not a good sign too. Maybe just going, every time he says he just goes, something bad happens. So maybe you should stop just going. Maybe collect your thoughts. Maybe think about what you want to do, then go. This whole just go thing is not a good thing.
And then they had him start. He's always like loves playing baseball. And then he would show some signs. We're like, dude, just throw it down the middle. What are you doing? Let's go here. And then yesterday at the game, I was like, hey, you're going to close out the game, man. We need you. Let's go. I can tell his like demeanor's a little different. I'm like, oh, that's weird. So where he just...
His demeanor's a bit different. I don't care. Anyway, drop down and give me 10 burpees. His demeanor's a bit weird. Oh, I don't care. Anyway, jump, star jump. Come on, shuffle.
Thing strikes out 3 guys, but he's like his mood is awful. His attitude's awful, and that's not like him. Like, what the?
And also, I really push back at this. His attitude was awful. What did he do? He's not saying anything. What? Because he wasn't smiling. Like, how's his attitude? Like, imagine the way he interprets things is fucking interesting. His attitude is awful. When I think of attitude or awful attitude, I think of somebody being rude to somebody kicking somebody in the leg, somebody being very curt with somebody, insulting somebody, saying a swear word to somebody. But just a kid just being a bit stroppy and having their head down, is that really like an awful attitude to have? Especially if you haven't spoken to him. Like, just pull him to one side. What's up? Are you okay? Do you want to rest? Do you want to not play? He's never going to say that though, is it? Because he wants it to be pro. He probably just wants to go home and eat an ice cream. He's there pushing him to be pro.
And even the coach's like, what's going on with him? Like, I don't know, man. So then goes in for the second inning, throws a strike, but he threw over like 60 pitches, so I have to take him out. But
Brendan assessing his game. Brendan is probably sat there on the sidelines with his little moleskin with his notes, noting down all the fucking things that he does. Or maybe even recording it on his phone and then zooming in and showing the 7-year-old about his pitching form, his batting form. Like, bro, going through tape. They probably go through tape, innit? They definitely analyze tape on the way home. He sits in the passenger seat. He puts the phone, plugs it into the center console, or has it posted on a fucking phone stand, and they go through the footage. Okay, cool. So let's go back around there. You see what you did? Bro, he just wants to give him a burger, man. Buy the kid a hot dog or a big gulp. Like, leave him alone.
His attitude's awful. I couldn't figure out. So the worst you've ever seen. I'm like, that is not my son. What the hell's going on there?
That is not my son. He doesn't want to play sport. You know what's going to be fun? You know what's going to be tragic and awful? Let's predict something. Imagine the tragedy of this. All of this pushing of this kid to become pro. Imagine if it turns out. Imagine if he just rebels like what most kids do, right? If you're like, it's in some respects, I don't know why it happens, but it's a phenomenon where like if your dad and your mum are fucking drug addicts and stuff, usually the kids come out and they're fucking straight edge. So imagine if the kid gets so turned off by this ordeal, he just doesn't like any sports anymore. Just thinks fuck sports. Like a lot of kids do nowadays, right? There's a lot of kids that don't play sports. Like imagine how heartbroken Brendan will be if his kid's like doesn't care about athletics, doesn't care about sports at all, zero, and becomes like a social justice warrior. Imagine Brendan's kids become a social justice warrior. Imagine if T thinks fuck this shit, I'm gonna start protesting about climate change. He'll be so fucking angry. He'll definitely disown him. He'll definitely write Tiger out of the will if he becomes an SJW and starts protesting about fucking fossil fuels and shit. He will absolutely hate that. Meat is murder. Oh my god, he will hate that.
We get back and I'm talking to him, and I was like, I don't get it, man. Like, you haven't been pitching that long, and you can pitch, dude. Like, most kids can't throw strikes. You're striking kids out. How are you not excited about this? And he was like, I don't know. And I don't know if he didn't want to, like...
Or maybe he didn't understand what was going on with himself.
He did. Well, the thing...
He doesn't... You see, his purpose... This is the thing about... I'll take it back what I said about when he's honest with his family. It seems like he's purposely not retelling what happened. He's omitting loads of things. He's jumping around. He's being very vague with certain things. Certain things he's really detailed in, and certain things he's super vague. Like, no, tell us what the kid said. Like what? I think I've got a feeling Tiger was very clear about getting across how uncomfortable and how much he didn't like playing baseball. I'm pretty sure. And I've got a feeling Brendan said, hey, let's just think about it. Let's sit on it. We'll come back again tomorrow and see how you feel. But I think Tiger was pretty clear. I don't want to play anymore. This is not fun. Because he's definitely being too vague about what happened. I think the kid told you.
Thing is, and what I realized last night is, I was missing the signs. He doesn't like pitching. But I was like, no, do it.
The signs. No, he told you. There was no signs. He said, Dad, I don't like pitching. You just didn't want to listen to him. You wanted him to be an all-rounder. And, you know, here it comes biting in your ass.
Like, the team needs you. You're going to do this. So that's on me. Then B, and he said this. He goes, just because I'm good at something doesn't mean I have to do it.
Damn.
Isn't that the clearest sign that he doesn't want to play baseball? If a kid says, just because I'm good at something, it doesn't mean you have to do it. He's starting to despise the game. He hates it. He doesn't want to play. It was fun when in the beginning when he was, you know, getting loads of praise and adulation for it and meeting loads of friends and being important. But now there's pressure and literal, you know, grown men are screaming at him at the sidelines. He's like, yuck, I don't want any parts of this anymore.
Yep, big boy statement.
Damn.
And I was like, but you do, right? No, I didn't say that. And then...
You see, that's what he actually thinks, though. That's what he actually thinks. That's what he actually thinks. He actually thinks if you're good at something, if you don't enjoy something but you're good at it, just do it. Which is the podcast, basically. That's basically T-Fat-K. Right? That's basically T-Fat-K. It makes money. It makes them a living, but they don't enjoy it. They just do it because it makes them a living. That's why Brian's laughing that way. He's like, yeah, telling me, look at this fucking studio. Look at this fucking show. We don't need to be here. But, you know, it pays the bills. We don't like being here, but it pays the bills. So you just keep turning up. It's like, nah, he's 7. He's got a choice. He doesn't need to get into that mindset yet. He should, when you're a kid, before you're a teenager, you should do everything just because you like to do it. And afterwards you can decide to do things just, you know, because you have to. But until then, you should enjoy the fact that you don't have to do things just for the sake of doing things. Solidarity with Tiger. We stand with you, T.
But C, what I realize is he doesn't know how to he doesn't know how to deal with failure. And when I think back on all the stuff we've done, so jiu-jitsu dominated right away, gifted, right? Nobody beat him ever. They took everybody down. Football, undefeated, never had any issues. MVP, no issues at all. Baseball, he's only 8 months in, made the all-star team, made a travel team, MVP of the team, didn't know how to fail. Now it's different, a little more competitive. He's never pitched before. A lot of that he's gotten off with his athletic ability. He's put a lot of work in. Pitching, you can't. You just because you're big, strong, and faster.
Pitching gets yourself some ways too.
But pitching is you got to have the mechanics, and he doesn't have those tools. So when he throws a ball, or he's down on the count, he doesn't know how to manage.
He doesn't have those tools.
Honestly, the kid says, I don't enjoy playing this anymore. Just because I'm good at something doesn't mean you have to play it. And he interprets it as like, oh my God, this is a weird interpretation. I can't, he said it quite clear, he doesn't want to play it, but hey, what can you do? Move off this topic anyway. Solidarity with Tiger. It's interesting to see that Brendan's attitude in general is also reflective of his parenting. It's kind of sad, I'm not going to lie. Like, you'd hope it'd be a bit different. But the way he approaches his life is the same way he approaches fucking parenting, and it's kind of wild because it's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good. Yeah, I mean, that kid seems to be closer to his mum anyway. Maybe the mum knew from the beginning he didn't want to play anymore, but didn't want to tell him. Oh, it's looking rough. It's looking rough out there. It's looking rough. I don't know what to say. It's looking fucking rough. I'm not gonna lie. Quickly do this and I'm gonna move on because actually what have I done? Okay, I've done quite a few times and I'm gonna bounce. I'm gonna come back later, but I'll bounce for now. But let's just play this one quickly. This is another clip from the feedback.
I park. Get there.
Oh, sorry, it's called Second Dad Podcast. Second Dad in Podcasting. I don't know what this is. Let's see if this one. I haven't seen this one yet. What's this one about? Second Dad in Podcasting. This should be good. Let's play this one. Let's see what this is saying.
We get there, I park, my mom and I, we walk into the restaurant. They're already seated. My wife, her mom, my 2-year-old are already seated. Wave, walking toward them at the fish bar. It's called the fish bar. My wife says, "Where is my baby?"
No, B.
You're a piece of shit. You left the kid in the car. Wait, hold on. Your mom's with you?
Yeah. Now, hold on.
You should hit your mom.
Well,
that's very instructive. He said that, by the way. I get the feeling Brendan and his mom don't have the best relationship in the world. Just a feeling.
My mom didn't realize what I was doing when I put the baby in, and I'm not used to having a baby.
What? Didn't you have a baby 2 years ago? Don't you have like 2 other kids by another woman? One day wants babies. How can you not be used to having a... Some of the things these guys admit on pods, you're like, hold on. You know you're admitting that you're basically an absent father, right? And it's because both of their careers are kind of in the gutter, or they're kind of grinding to a screeching halt. Maybe Brendan's quicker than Brian. But now that they've got more time on their hands, they're spending way more time with their family. It's not because they're like choosing to be beast of a dad, because these guys, you know, if they're booked and busy, they're more than happy to be away from home and away from their kids as much as possible. They fucking hate it, right? And Brendan's even said it. He's even admitted it, right? I used to book gigs to get away from my family, so whatever. It is what it is. But isn't it funny that they're coming into all these problems, they're having to troubleshoot all these issues with their kids and shit, that they're realizing, they're coming home and realizing that their kids have personalities and stuff. They're realizing they don't really know what their kids like, because they were so absent before. And this is a clear indication of it. This is a clear indication that, you know, the 2 other kids from the previous marriage and then the first one.
Now, hold on.
Those were the golden, that was the best time in Brian's career. Now that it's gone to shit and he's got this new kid, he's now having to be more present and take part in more of these fucking family activities. He's fucking struggling and allegedly forgetting his kid somewhere. That's brutal, isn't it? The horror of realizing, because the baby was quiet and I'm not used to having the baby was quiet, so it's the baby's fault. The baby didn't let me know that it was there. The baby didn't tell me to take him into the restaurant. The baby was too quiet. How was I meant to know he was there? The baby didn't vibrate. I put the baby in silent. What's putting the baby on silent? Sprinkling Xanax on it or something? Is that like a Brendan joke, right? How do you put a baby on silent? Sprinkle Xanax on its pacifier. Yo, what the fuck is going on here?
a baby in my
fell
car.
asleep probably on the drive.
The baby fell asleep.
Yeah,
the baby was already
cars.
asleep.
Yeah, they love cars.
So I'm talking to my mom, and I get out.
Yeah, babies love. Do you, Brendan? Babies love cars. Babies. My baby's a Porsche. My baby's a Porsche head. My baby loves a TRX. My baby hates Priuses. My baby loves G-Wagons.
The baby fell asleep.
Yeah,
the baby was already
cars.
asleep.
Yeah, they love cars.
So I'm.
Babies love cars. Maybe he's won a Bentley GTI.
Talking to my mom, and I get out because I'm thinking, and I had flip flops on, Bubba.
So you're talking to your mum. You get in the car. Is he blaming the toe holds? So toe holds are to blame for him abandoning or being a neglectful father.
And when I tell you I took my flip flops off and I ran as fast as I could, and I took some of the skin off my feet on that roadway.
Hold on, but I thought toe holds were the best sandals ever. I thought toe holds were good for any environment, good for any surface. Why didn't he strap his toe holds tighter to his feet and then use them as literal launching pads to fucking career down the street? Why did he take them off for? If you actually want to go faster, if you actually want to do important things, shouldn't you actually tie your toe holds tighter to your actual feet instead of taking them off? It's almost as if he was talking out of his ass when it came to the promotion of the toe holds. It's almost as if they're just overpriced leather fucking sandals for guys that have too much money. Almost.
Because that doesn't matter, because I got to get to my baby.
That you forgot about.
That I could get arrested for, because I forgot about my child, my newborn. And
you
when
could
you
catch
hear
a
about
case,
this,
especially if it was hot out.
oh, dude, that's all I thought about. Now, luckily, it wasn't hot out. My baby was sleeping, but I forgot my child in the car. And when
If it was a black guy telling this story, Rinks would be telling about the epidemic of fatherlessness or the fall of the West. But for him, it's a fun oopsie. Personal responsibility, folks.
It's absolutely astounding. There are people out there who are balancing 2 jobs, single parent households. Sometimes they have 7 kids, juggling them all around. And this is something this is a frightening situation. And they would never get themselves in this kind of position. But these guys have a career where they get to sit in front of a microphone 2 times a week, 1 hour per day, 1 hour per session, maybe working a total of, let's say, 5 hours in a week, if that. They don't edit, they don't upload, they don't do thumbnails, none of that shit. It will get done by somebody else. They literally sit on the couch, they even press record. They get told when it's time to record, and then go jump in their expensive cars, go back to their lovely homes. They have all the time in the world to do anything out other than working. They're not stressed about where the money's coming from. In Brian's case, he has a really rich dad and shit. That takes all the pressure in the back of your mind off, so it's not all just, make it and break it, kind of like life or death situations. You kind of got a bit of a safety net there. So you'd imagine with that, your full attention will be on your kid, innit? Because you don't have anything else distracting you. You don't have any other worries like regular people have, like, keeping the lights on and shit. And you're forgetting your kid in the car. And you're admitting it like it's a ha-ha he-he. Yo, talk about useless. Talk about you. This is why I've said before that I honestly think and I actually think Leanne Kreischer admitted it one time in the past pod. She basically said that like she actually enjoys it when Bert leaves. She doesn't want him to be at home. I think a lot of those comedian partners and wives actually prefer it when their husbands go on tour. Because when they're back at home, it's probably a nightmare, The issues they cause with the kids, sleeping schedules and whatever else, because they're all up, they're just a fun dad and shit. They mess all that up, all that work you get done in terms of putting them in some sort of like, timetable or whatever it may be. And then little things like this, like, you don't really trust your partner to really look after your baby because he's kind of absent-minded, you know what I mean? While he should be thinking about his kid and the car, he's thinking about ways to keep himself relevant. He's thinking of new little TikTok skits to film and shit. Like, ugh. Wow.
When I hear that from other men,
Big up NJ Ranger, appreciate it, bro.
I'm like, you forgot your baby? I can't imagine that. Not in a million years. Guess what?
You know why?
It was my newborn. I'm not used to having a newborn.
Bro, you had a newborn 2 years ago and you had 2 previous kids before that. So what are you telling? What are you telling us then? You were never there for your kids when they were growing up. That's what you're basically admitting. Don't admit you never had a newborn. I've never had a newborn as if like, oh, bro, I've never worn Adidas's before. I didn't know they came up a bit tight. I always wear Nikes. I've never worn Adidas's. I didn't know you had to size up half a size. A kid isn't a pair of shoes, bro. Like, and you've had 3 before. Fucking hell, Brian Callen.
Sure, full circle. Because you were partaking in nonsense hour with your mom.
I was partaking in nonsense hour. I was having a conversation with my mom.
Child.
We both forgot about. I forgot about my newborn.
Your
baby.
mom should feel even worse.
Not really. What is this is a strange he definitely has some mummy issues, isn't it? This is a strange tangent. Why is he ragging at Brian Callen's mum for not remembering the kid in the car? I get it, you know, grandmother-in-law and shit, but relax. Like, it's his responsibility. Like, why didn't he know? You know.
She didn't. Her excuse was she didn't know I had put the baby in the car. She's 83, so she was just talking to me. She didn't see that I put the baby in the car. Because the baby was so quiet, so little. She didn't know.
They keep blaming the baby being quiet for the reason why he forgot his kid. It's the baby's fault. Baby needs to speak up for himself. Use your words, baby. Use your words.
Know that the baby was in the car. So if she had known, I guarantee she would never have forgotten. But she didn't realize. But old Bri forgot the baby.
You guys might just be stupid. You ever think about that? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm just stupid.
Well,
sometimes you're stupid all the time.
Like when I hear that, you know what I think to myself?
Yeah.
You guys are stupid.
Well, you know.
Imagine admitting that. That's a mad thing to admit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually impressed that they admitted that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually impressed they admitted that on a pod. But again, just proof they don't have much content. But that's quite an embarrassing story. I wouldn't have shared it. That's the kind of thing that you should go to your grave. That's the kind of, as a parent, you'd be like, you know what? You acknowledge it to your wife. You're like, hey, we're gonna have to both take that to our graves. We can't let anybody know this sort of shit. Fucking hell. Two guys who don't work more than 10 hours per week, forgetting their kids, not knowing if their kid likes a sport or not. It's fucking brilliant. They have no idea who they're shooting. They're coming back and these kids are all grown up. They're fucking strangers to them. And it's like, who are these guys? Like, they're like Airbnb fucking tenants or something. Or guests in their homes. They're so fucking hilarious. Oh, what a brilliant clip, man. What a brilliant clip. Brian Callen, worst dad of the year. Worst fucking dad of the year. I can't deny it. Anyways, my friends, that has been it for now. I'm going to come back later for another half of the show. And I'm going to obviously recap all the Jelly Roll stuff. But for now, I'm going to have to love you and leave you, my friends. So thank you for tuning. It's been a fucking pleasure. Never a fucking chore. If you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, make sure you like the stream. And I'll schedule something out for a few hours later. So you guys will see me again very, very soon. Don't be sad. Don't be annoyed. But we will cover the Jelly Roll stuff. We've got a lot of stuff to get through. We're going to cover Jelly Roll. We're going to cover a bit more of this episode and a few other bits and pieces I need to cover as well. So bear with me and I'll be back again with you guys very, very soon. But for now, I need to hop, skittle, and a bounce. So I'll see all you guys in a bit. All right? Okay, cool. Hey yo! Hey yo! Are you back? Oh fuck it, man. You always come back. I hate you back.